Another shout out to Full Throttle. I told them they've got fans on here tonight. This is Siobhan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so awesome to see all of these fans come out to support these teams for this event, the DRS Broadcast Challenge Series. Race 1 of many more in this series. And if this is something that interests you, again, there is prize money on the line for all of these drivers, no matter where they finish. Of course, the prize pool is a lot higher for those racers who finish higher up in the order, as it typically works. But if this is something that you're interested in, you would love to put in a team entry for this series, please just go check out the DRS Broadcast Challenge Series over on the DRS website, and you could possibly race your way to some good cash prizes.
Definitely. And if there's any woman out there, I'm like the only woman here. So if there's any women out there that want to make a team with me, I'm all for it. Drop us in the chat. Let us know. We can give these boys a run for their money.
Absolutely.
But like I said, you saw in the chat, we've got Full Throttle racing fans. We've got Dayton fans. Dayton Harrison is on Full Throttle Racing, so we've got Dayton fans, Benjamin fans. I want to say we have EJ Luna fans. So definitely, thanks for showing up. And we are excited to get started. Qualifying is starting right now.
The clock is on for qualifying. They got 15 minutes to put in a nice clean lap, to hopefully put themselves at the front of the pack before this race, or the strategy could be to start in the back of the pack and just avoid all the chaos.
That is true. It all comes down to strategy sometimes, especially in these long. Would you consider this an endurance race?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely, especially at Daytona. A lot of sharp turns, a lot of long turns. These drivers are going to be locked in basically the entirety of the laps.
I agree. I think during these endurance races, it's not always how you start, because you could start out great. And if there's any Formula One fans, we have drivers like George Russell who can hit a wall in the last lap. So anything could happen in these races.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to see how many elbows are thrown here at the beginning of this race. Earlier when we were talking with our teams, it sounded like these teams were just focusing on survival when it came to the start of the race, and that may leave the door open to some other drivers to take an advantage and make some moves very early in the race.
So we've got another Benjamin fan, and we've got a question. Can an LGBTQ boy submit an application to be on the racing team with the girls? I'm all for it.
Honestly,
let's make a Racing Queens team. I would love that. That would be so fun. All you have to do is be a DRS enthusiast member. Otherwise, I think there is an entry fee. So there are options. But also, being a DRS member, you get so many perks. We have events like this all the time. During the Formula One season, you can come watch all the races here in the clubhouse. There's big events. We have hot laps in the sim. There's raffles that happen during some of our events. I know that we have somebody who has won, what did he win? He won an ice drifting, free ice drifting. I just talked to him, and he's going in February for that, which is exciting.
That's pretty exciting. I mean, I don't know how else you would be able to have an opportunity like that to do some kind of wild motorsport thing. So DRS is a great place to be. It's a great atmosphere if you want to surround yourself with people who are just as interested in racing as you are. And again, you get to also be a part of events like this where there's cash on the line for the fastest sim racers on the track.
Definitely.
If you're just now tuning in, the qualifying session has just started. We're about 3 minutes in of this 15-minute qualifying session. See where these drivers line up on the grid. And a lot of these drivers have been practicing for this moment. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of laps are put down by all of these racers.
Definitely. And we have some more chats. This is Angela. She would join that team.
Yes, the Racing Queens.
The Racing Queens is gonna be a thing. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, we'll make that happen. All right, we're getting some lap times getting put on the board right now. It's Benjamin Bechtel for Full Throttle Racing, currently sitting on the top with his first few laps. But again, only 4 racers have completed their laps, and there are 11 racers in this race. So it might come down to the last laps if these guys are going to push the whole time. But if they push too hard, they go off the track, their lap will be disqualified, which they have to be careful about.
Right. They want to keep it a clean, hot lap. And we got another chat. Thank you, fan for Gibbons. That's on Team Monaco. They are driving the Ferrari. They'll be in the white, blue, and yellow cars. The Gibbons fan, if you don't already know, which I'm sure you already do, that he is in car number 85. We are currently watching Full Throttle Racing. This is Harrison in car number 30, which looks like he's doing well. He's also got a lot of fans. There's a lot of Let's Go Daytons.
Oh, look at that. Early in the qualifying session, looks like Gibbons braking right before the bus stop on the backstretch. Don't know what happened there. It looked like he just pulled out of the way, maybe to give his teammate some space. Maybe his teammate was on a really good lap and he just aborted that lap. But you know what? It's all good. He's still got 10 minutes to try and clock a lap time here. The lap times are around 1:30. So there should be a couple more opportunities for laps in this qualifying
Looks
session.
like he had a little bit of a lockup right there too. So I don't know if he was trying, like you said, it could be part of their team strategy. Let their teammate through. Question in the chat, how many laps in qualifiers? This qualifying is a timed qualifying. They have 15 minutes. Basically do as many laps as they can to get the fastest lap. Mr. Toasty Potato is rooting for Dayton.
Oh, and we have a new pole sitter right now. That's Brian Sabelski with a 1:31.3.
That is quick.
Pretty good time. He's now going into the pits. He seems pretty happy with that. What will other people have to say to that? Will they respond this early in the qualifying session? I don't know. Personally, I want to be pretty on top of my game, on top of the leaderboard here early in the qualifying so that it wouldn't come down to making a mistake at the very end to not get that first place starting position.
Definitely. Now, having your pole position in a race like this is critical. They're going to have the best advantage sitting on pole, especially going into turn 1 now. If you're just joining us, we have talked about turn 1. It is what drivers might say is an icy corner. It's easy to spin out. It's easy to lose control, especially when there are 11 other cars on the track trying to pass you. So having that pole position is definitely going to be an advantage.
Absolutely. We've got cars going super hard into all of these corners. You got to be really careful. If you miss your braking zone, like my co-host Marissa just said, it is an icy track. If you lose grip on Daytona, it is very hard to get it back. So these guys have to be really careful with their braking lines.
Definitely. Now, we have been able to see some of these teams practicing. I know some teams got together yesterday to practice, and the track is different. Track temperature changes. It was a little bit foggy when that team was on yesterday. Today, we're driving at dusk, so it's going to start bright out. It's going to get dark. So it all kind of lends to strategy.
Absolutely. You can see the headlights are already on from these cars. Luckily, Daytona is a pretty bright track, so they won't have to worry about any darkness coming down around them. But the track conditions are going to change throughout the race, and we'll see if that affects anyone else on this race.
Definitely, that track will be cold. Now, tire temperatures are a huge part of strategy, right? If you have cold tires, it is easy for that car to slip out from right underneath you.
And look at that,
we had a collision.
Battle in qualifying. That's 2 separate teams. We're on board right now with Anthony Monaco and that number 7 getting some contact with someone else going into turn 1.
It looks like it was number 9 with OK Motorsports.
I mean, like, that is just, they were not giving each other any space here. That was an insane battle on a qualifying session.
And now that cost both of them time. It possibly caused damage to their car. So This is going to be if that's what's happening in qualifying,
yeah,
I can imagine what's going to happen when there's 11 other cars on the track.
Definitely. I mean, like, these cars are trying to go as fast as they can. Soap in the chat asks, is that a penalty? So when it comes to penalties in qualifying, they will not carry over to the race. But if you do get a penalty on your lap, that lap will just be automatically disqualified and you'll have to put down another clean lap. Luckily, that incident was in turn 1, so I don't think they were going to be super worried about having that turn 1 be like the perfect lap. But again, there's only like 6 minutes left in this qualifying session if anyone wants to try and contest the pole.
And it looks like Brian set a pretty good time. It looks like he might be happy with that. He's sitting in the pits. I don't think he's going to go out for another lap. I think it's worth the risk.
Right? He's got 3/10 up on Bechtel in second right now. So I would feel pretty good about that, sitting on the front row. And we'll see what these other cars are able to do.
Definitely. Now, if you are new here, during last Formula One season here at the clubhouse, we did have hot lap racing for the whole season. It was a pretty close fight between our first and second place holders right now. That's Sabelski and Bechtel. They fought for first and second place during those hot laps. And it was pretty close up until the very end of the season. So I anticipate that they are going to be very strong in these races for this series, and definitely something to look out for.
Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Thank you.
All right, we're looking at just around 4 minutes left, which could be only 2 or 3 more laps for these drivers if they want to try and put themselves on pole position. But right now it's Zabelski with that 131 currently sitting in the pits, just sitting in first place.
Well, looks like he's going out though. It looks like he's in pit exit. Maybe he's trying to go for one more hot lap. You do want to keep in mind in qualifying, you have an out lap, then your hot lap after that. So, we got another spin. Another spin.
A lot of these drivers pushing and so hard, giving everything they can into these corners to try and cut some time. But Daytona is a very unforgiving track. Luckily, there is a lot of runoff area, so car damage should be minimal if they can save it, missing their braking zone. But again, missing the braking zone is just so detrimental to lap time.
Definitely. We had a question in the chat, how many cars make it through qualifiers? So they all qualify. What qualifying is doing is figuring out what place they start the actual race in. So Zabelski, Bechtel looks like they're holding first and second place, and then everyone else after that is where they will start on the grid for the actual race start. We are on board with Lewis. He's driving the number 9 for OK Motorsports. Oh, sorry, we switched to Monaco and back to Lewis.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of times being improved by a lot of these drivers. I am speculating there's a lot of track limits going on and these drivers aren't able to put down a clean lap.
I think we can tell by these. So if you look on your screen, the 1X, 4X, 6X, those are how many incident points they have. Now during the race, if you're just joining us during the race, that is going to be important to keep an eye out for. Once they hit 12, they have to do that drive-through penalty. So getting 6 incident points for Monaco in qualifying, it'll be interesting to see how he does in the 2-hour race.
Definitely. I mean, like in qualifying, just 1 incident point is all it takes to get your lap disqualified. So these cars have to really keep it clean. And we've seen that's been pretty hard with some car-on-car contact already happening in this qualifying session.
Definitely. And it looks like Amato just beat Bechtel's time by 0.2 of a second. So it's possible that Bechtel will be starting in 3rd.
There you go, Amato moving up to 2nd, but it's still Sabelski there in 1st by almost 0.3 of a second. And as we wind down here, we almost have 1 minute left in this qualifier. Now, for those of you who are curious, when it comes down to qualifying, if cars start a flying lap before the timer is over, they will be able to finish that lap. Oh, and we've got a car around. That's Amato. He's currently sitting in second, going a little too hard there into the corner, and I don't think he's going to be able to get another lap in because we've only got 50 seconds left in this qualifying session.
We have another question. A good place to start. What's the strategy? Now, each team will have their own strategy. We did jump in during practice to a couple teams to see what their strategies might have been. A good place to start, the best place to start, is going to be that pole position. The first turn on this track is, at our terms, is icy. There could be a lot of collisions, a lot of traffic happening at that first turn. So, you know, it's best to not be in that traffic, and the only way to do that is to be in pole position, have a good start, and get out in front of all of those. Looks like we have another shout out. This fan for Full Throttle Racing is going to be Michael Anselli. Hi, welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in.
And just like that, the qualifying session is over, and it's still Brian Sabelski with that 131. He clocked it very early into qualifying, and it looks like he's going to be starting on the pole for this race. So let's go ahead and hop in the voice channel with Sabelski, see how he's feeling starting at the very front of this race.
Now he is with OK Motorsports.
Okay, Motorsports, the production booth is here. How are we feeling?
Recovering from a flu right now, so yesterday my temperature was 103, so...
That is not fun.
No, it is not.
That is some dedication showing up, not feeling well. We do hope you feel better.
But how are you guys feeling going into this race? Do you think you guys have enough practice laps under your belt? You feeling calm? You feeling collected? How are we feeling before this race start?
I'm just gonna try and avoid the collisions and stuff like that. I kind of know. Yeah, I know. But with the incident count also being every 12, which is way less than it is in these kind of normal races that we run on iRacing, it's really going to put a premium on not making mistakes, especially in the Le Mans chicane, aka the bus stop. Just not piling up those off tracks, and I feel confident because that's what I've been practicing, is just trying to practice my line through there. Just make sure I nail it every time without getting an off track as best I can. Because I think that's going to be the secret sauce, is who has the least amount of penalties at the end of the night.
Absolutely. Yeah, it could get very chaotic going into turn one. And Brian, I know you're starting at the very front. Are you a little stressed about some chaos that might happen behind you, or are you feeling confident that your fellow drivers will give you some space?
I think at Daytona, you're always worried about turn one, lap one. It even with the best drivers around you, it can be a mess. So you just kind of try and do your best to get through it and hope everything goes well.
Absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
Good luck, guys. We'll be staying in touch throughout the race to answer some trivia questions with the chat, and good luck for the start of this race.
Thank you.
Oh, he did not sound good.
No,
Yeah,
he
being sick
sounds
before
so
this does not
sick.
sound
That's
good.
that's always a hard start. All right, well, up
But it
on
is
the
the race
screen.
time. Yeah, as you can see, we've got our starting grid. We've got Brian Sabelski for OK Motorsports starting in first to his, I want to say right on the outside there. We've got Nicholas Amato from Mile High Motor Club qualifying only almost 3/10 slower than him. So all of these cars very close
quick.
under a very small blanket here when it comes to lap time. We've got Bechtel in third for Full Throttle Racing. So we've got three different teams taking up the three different spots at the start of the grid. So it should get very interesting there.
It
No
definitely
team
will.
orders between teams.
No team orders. It'll be, elbows out and everyone for themselves.
In fourth, we got EJ Luna. Fifth, Bryson Gibbons. Sixth, Dayton Harrison. Seventh, we've got Anthony Monaco. Eighth, we've got David Ames. In ninth, we've got Dominic Wilder. 10th, we've got Luca Roth. And then 11th, we've got Alex Lewis. All of these racers putting in all of their best times, and this is it. This is about to be the start of a 2-hour endurance race around Daytona as all the cars are on the grid.
Here we go. We're ready for lights out.
Up. Lights are on.
Let's
and
go.
Lights are out. Let's see what happens. The start of the race.
Here's that turn one.
This could get chaotic. A good start from
looks like Bechtel is pulling
on
up
the outside there. Going into turn one. Giving each other space. Oh, we got a car
Bechtel
on the
went off
outside.
track.
It's gonna be the number 5 taking the lead, going back. That's Zabelski. We've got Amato in second, and it looks like we've got some chaos there in the back. We've got some in turn one. Look at that damage. That's the 11, the 27. That's 3 different teams involved here in the wreck at the start of the race.
Just as we predicted, that first turn is going to be chaotic.
Oh, wow. That was chaotic. We've got Alex Lewis capitalizing on that, though, up 4 spots after starting in last. That's just what you got to do. You got to keep it slow and steady and not make any mistakes here. But we got Zabelski here holding his lead early, and we still got a lot of cars going off track. All of these cars trying their best, scrambling for some speed. Got Amato in second and Bechtel in third. How they started, EJ Luna and Harrison fourth and fifth, like they started, except Harrison up a spot. And then we have Luca Roth, who's actually down some positions in last place. And it looks like Bryson Gibbons is down 3 positions off the start. That cannot be good. He was probably caught up in that.
He was probably in one of those collisions, that's for sure. Now, as this race gets going, the racers will start to kind of spread out on the track a little bit. But wow, that was pretty exciting first turn.
Look at that. We got so much contact here around this circuit. Look at that. Just so many cars, not enough space. We've got so many cars spinning through the grass here.
These are the replays of the beginning of the race. Man, now there could be damage to these cars. Is that correct? So what do we do in that case? Looks like we had a crashes from Alex Lewis, the number 9 here for OK Motorsports.
Yes, Alex Lewis had such a good start, keeping it straight, was able to get past all the cars at the front, but looked like he just missed his braking point going into turn 1. That is unfortunate for him. He might have lost a few spots, but he's back on the track and not a lot of time lost there.
All right, we are going back live. This is with Nick Amato.
Right now we are on board with Zabelski, who is currently holding his lead and is currently 5 tenths ahead of second place Benjamin Bechtel, who has moved up 1 spot in front of Amato there in these opening laps.
I think Zabelski was correct and not being worried about being in the front. As we mentioned before, having that pole position is a huge advantage at the beginning of this race. We still got a lot of full throttle Benjamin fans. Mario Kart is fun.
That is a lot of damage. That was a lot of chaos. Now for this race, damage is turned off, but that does not help these drivers when it comes to losing lap time on their competitors. As we're on board with Zabelski here, we've got Bechtel there just pulling in behind him, just ran the fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.9, and I think Zabelski's got his eyes on his mirror right now because Bechtel looks fast.
He definitely does. I think part of Bechtel's strategy might be using that slipstream to get to a good point where he can pass. All part of racing.
Absolutely. These top 3 cars are also very close to one another, with 4th place EJ Luna being around 4 seconds behind. So these top 3 cars pull on a little bit of a gap.
Looks like he is trying to keep it clean though, just like he said, have his pace, keep it clean, try not to have any off tracks. He does have that 1 incident point, so we will keep an eye on that. We're on board now watching Bechtel in the car number 28 for full throttle. Looks like he's, trying so close to get close to Zabelski, possibly pass.
Yes, Daytona is a very fast track, and it really comes down to how good of a run you can get on the straightaways here, and the slipstream is going to be very prominent with these hypercars. As you can see, riding along with Bechtel here in that toe of Zabelski, he might make a move here into turn 1, or he might not, might just keep it safe. It looks like he's just going to try and keep it safe, not fly off at turn 1, and that is some really clean racing from Bechtel there.
It definitely is. Keeping it on track. You can see Bechtel has no incident points, so he is driving his race. He's driving it clean. He's the one who we spoke with earlier that, you know, he's had, what did he say, 200 laps of practice. So
it definitely shows.
He's holding his own for sure.
Riding along with Bryson Gibbons, he was one of the drivers who was caught up in one of the wrecks at the beginning of the race, dropped down 3 spots from the start of the race, but only with 2 incident points, so definitely a lot of room to recover here as he's hauling right behind Anthony Monaco, his teammate.
Definitely. Now, I'm sure in their team chats, this possibly is an option for strategy if they have good communication. Now, Bryson Gibbons is our team principal for, let's see, which team is this? This is Team Monaco. He is our team principal, so, you know, he could give the orders to give up that position.
Or the orders could be to just stay together and utilize that slipstream, because like we just saw with Bechtel, he was able to hold that slipstream really well right behind Zabelski. And if you could see up on the top of your screen, that interval between our top 2 cars is getting really, really tight here, with Nicholas Amato actually running the fastest lap of the race. These top 3 cars are really, really close.
They definitely are, and it looks like, you know, since we haven't been watching those top 3 cars, Bechtel did get 1 incident point. Now, that could have been an off track. Oh, looks like he just got another one. We're not sure what that is because we're not on board with him right now, but it is important to watch those incident points. That could be detrimental a little bit later on in the race.
Most definitely. If we could ride along with the top 3, that would be very good. Right now, though, still riding along with Bryson Gibbons, just following his teammate here. And it looks like he's keeping it clean, not making any mistakes, which is, I think, the best way to go about the start of this race.
And definitely good, you know, good team strategy to keep, you know, keep your teammates close, utilize that slipstream. And we are on board with 3rd place. That's Bechtel, number 28 in the Full Throttle Racing. You can see the first 2 people up ahead of him.
On board with Alex Lewis here. We've been talking about him going into turn 1 here. Looks like he just got a little bit loose underneath him. Like we said, that is an icy turn. Very easy to just have the car come out from underneath you. And he's right back on the track, going to try and make up that time.
All right, we are going back live. We are with Gibbons again. Looks like he just... Oh, looks like Bechtel went into the pits.
Bechtel in the pits here. He was up at the front. Maybe this is strategy. Maybe there was some kind of issue. We did see the top 3 cars spaced out a lot more than they were at the beginning of the race. So maybe there was an incident. Maybe there was a reason he had to come into the pits. But now Bechtel down 6 spots and just sitting in the pits. Let's go ahead and take a look at this replay. It looks like Ben went off track. This was when he was battling with that 3rd place car. We're going to hop on board with our leader. This is Zabelski for OK Motorsports, and he just looks locked in. That car looks planted.
He definitely does.
Looking very dominant. As you can see on the side of that car, you can see the 05 on the front, behind the front tires. That is his car number, but the number on the back in front of the rear numbers, that is his position on track. So make sure you take a look at that. All of the cars will have the position on track. if you look close enough, and if that is what you're looking for, that's where you find that information.
Definitely. As always, though, if you do have a question, drop it in the chat. We will do our best to answer you as quickly as we can. Yeah, let's give some shout outs in the chat. If you want us to zoom in on a specific driver, let us know. And we can switch to that driver for you. We're gonna jump on with Anthony.
Anthony still in front of his teammate Bryson Gibbons, just trying to put some solid lap times down, but it looks like he's catching up to Dominic Wilder in front of him here. He's definitely closed that gap in the last couple laps.
He definitely has. Now, keep in mind that some of these racers, their I rating in iRacing, they are rookies, which means they don't have a lot of practice driving.
You can see the license next to the driver's names on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. The R in red means it is a rookie license, with the C and B being higher ranked license for more experienced drivers.
Definitely, and you can see that Zabelski is a licensed driver. You can tell from maintaining that pole position that he is definitely earned his spot there.
Anthony is flying here.
Looks like we're gonna switch over to Dayton, who does race for Full Throttle Racing. Currently in 4th place. He's up 2 from his start.
We've seen this from Harrison before in the last endurance race. We saw him maybe make a couple mistakes at the beginning of the race, but then he was just able to lock in, not make any mistakes, and make up a lot of time on the competition. So
Definitely.
We can see that right now, up 2 spots. And it looks like there's some action on the track between Gibbons, Wilder, and Monaco. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. We got a stack of 3 cars here. Take a look at this replay. It looks like some team orders. Look at that. The 85 absolutely takes out the 13. I don't know if that was on purpose, but that was a hard hit. I know if I was taken out like that, I would not be happy.
Definitely not. Now it's going to be a lot of work for that number 13 to get back on track. Yeah. That's Wilder. Now, Wilder is here in the clubhouse racing. He is on the full motion sim right below us. So, he's going to have to work hard to get that.
Yeah, it looked like that 85 car just came in a little too hot, was trying to get around his teammate, missed his braking zone, and then there was just nowhere he could go. Dominic Wilder, unfortunately, just part of the chaos there. That is really unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. We are going back live now with Harrison.
Loose cannon. We're reading your chats. That was definitely something.
It definitely was.
Wow. And now it looks like all of these cars are slowly spacing out from each other, putting in some solid lap times, and hopefully these drivers are just starting to really get their groove.
And we definitely have some Dayton fans. Now here shortly we are going to hop into some teams and offer some bonus points. We're going to do some trivia. So we're going to ask you, the chat, we're going to ask you the question. You give us the answer. Help your favorite team out so that they can earn those bonus points.
Looks like we've got some cars close to each other. If we can hop on board with Gibbons, who's currently closing the gap on 6th, as you can see. Both of these drivers teammates, so hopefully there isn't a lot of battling going on, but I don't think that stopped a lot of these drivers from making moves. But Gibbons being behind his teammate will definitely help with that slipstream on the straightaways to definitely get some better lap times.
It definitely will. Hopefully it is in their team orders to work together and not fight.
Now we're currently on board with Bechtel. We saw Bechtel go into the pits. He's currently 37 seconds behind the car in front. So maybe a completely different strategy coming from Bechtel. But like we said, we saw him put down some really good lap times at the start of this race. So I would not be surprised if he made all of this time up throughout this race.
Definitely.
Mr. Toasty Potato in the chat is asking about the trivia. So here's how the trivia is going to work. We currently have these true or false cards. Now the way this is going to work is we're going to ask some true or false questions. We're going to ask a question, chat. You're going to have to tell us if it's true or false. We will also be asking the drivers, and if the majority vote gets it, then bonus points will be scored for the team and the drivers who answer those questions right. So chat, you are in a very good spot here to get some bonus points for your team, and we're on board with Lewis who is now around.
He spun around.
Looks like the car just got out from underneath him there, currently in 10th position. And yeah, it looks like the car just came out from underneath him, hit the brakes a little bit too hard, and
possibly a lockup or just hitting that gravel right on the side of the track. Looks like Roth also maybe have had an incident.
Looks like he's going into turn 1 here. And yeah, just way too fast.
Oh, he went straight into the wall.
No brakes going into there. Must have missed his braking zone, and that was a very unfortunate wreck for Luca Roth there in the 11 car.
Luckily for that one, there was no other drivers around him. The way that the speed he hit that wall, it could have been detrimental to every other racer that was on the track.
I am thankful this is a sim race because that is a horrifying wreck.
Definitely.
Wow. That is some crazy stuff. Luca Roth now currently 2 laps behind in 11th. Just trying to put some good lap times in. Now if we can go ahead and look at Dayton Harrison, who looks like he is in DRS range of EJ Luna. This is a battle of 2 different teams. We know Harrison and Luna are both very experienced endurance racers, and both of them are putting their all in here. But Harrison, if he can get a good exit from this corner, can stay in the slipstream and catch up to EJ Luna, currently sitting in a podium position of 3rd.
Definitely.
Yes, Mr. Toasted Potato, you're right in the chat. Drivers, if they are focused on their race, and I can't answer the question, they do have a 50-50 chance to try and score these bonus points, because we do have a bunch of outlandish questions here. We will be asking all of these teams throughout this 2.5-hour race. Dayton Harrison is in the slipstream here of EJ Luna, making some time up. We've also got Bryson Gibbons behind number 6. That's David Ames. Ames. Sorry about that.
Like going right through the bus stop. That is a very tricky place to be.
And it looks like he made up a lot of ground there. Bryson Gibbons now on the bumper of David there in 6th. This might be a pass going into the turn 1, or it might just be on the tri-oval. Let's see what happens here. Goes on the inside for the pass. That's going to be Gibbons.
Passed him.
Gibbons going for a spot on his teammate.
Pass.
Yeah, I can't see David going to fight this. And a clean pass there from Gibbons as he moves up the order. Looks like Harrison did not make that pass on EJ Luna. Not quite close enough to him on the bumper. But now these cars are trying to put some clean lap times in. Cars are looking quite good.
They are. As you can see on this track, these cars are going fast. We have 200 miles an hour on faster. Okay, 195 is probably the slowest, but it's possible that's like in the bus stop where you have to kind of slow down or you'll lose track. These cars are going fast. So the experience that these guys bring to the race is, takes a lot of practice. It's hard.
Yeah, as we spectate Luna here with Harrison on his bumper, let's just talk about how hard these cars are to drive. We've seen many times that the cars just get out from underneath them.
Nice.
And that is a clean pass.
Clean pass.
In the turn 1 there from Harrison.
Good job, Harrison.
EJ Luna. Smart from Luna not to challenge that. Harrison has been putting in some good laps, and now Luna will be able to take advantage of that slipstream in the straights. It looks like
Oh, he's
Harrison
trying to
there
get that
missed his
back.
braking point. This battle is not over.
Definitely not.
We're going to see some clean racing from Harrison and Luna here.
Now, one thing I can say, after watching the Le Mans race and now this race, I hopped into Full Throttle's practice yesterday, and I can say that Harrison is very consistent with his lap times, how he's racing. You know, he definitely finds areas of improvement. He makes those changes. And you can see he's starting to pull away from Luna. I think he's in it to win it.
It looks like it. Harrison definitely one to keep out an eye for as this race goes on. He's currently only 10 seconds behind the leader, which is definitely a gap that can be made up. 2 hours left of this race.
Most definitely.
And we're seeing your chat. We appreciate all of the chats. Dayton is goated. Great pass. Now that is how you pick a position. All of my iRacing veterans will know that was just an absolutely clean pass. I wish I had racers that clean in my lobbies. On board with Dominic Wild here for Full Throttle Racing. Right behind David there in 7th. David has been falling down some positions through the bus stop, keeping it clean, and a good run here from Dominic could get him a position.
Oh,
as we have a
little
lot
bit
of cars
traffic
there.
up in front of them.
That's Gibbons and Monaco, 2 teammates. Right in front there, 2 wide.
Well, looks like Wilder is pushing for that pass. He just got to find his moment for sure.
Riding along here with Monaco for Scuderia Monaco. All of the Scuderia Monaco cars here are right next to each other on the track. And they are racing each other very cleanly. That is what you like to see. Look at that, 3 Monaco cars back to back to back. That'd be a hard group of cars to get around.
It definitely would,
sure.
because they have the team advantage at that point. They can make it hard for anybody who's behind them to pass them. You know, they can go too wide, and you just don't have that opportunity at that point.
Absolutely, and it looks like there was actually a pass at the front of the field as we're watching these Monaco cars. We have Harrison.
Hey, Dayton.
That's Harrison and Luna battling it out again.
Another clean pass.
Yeah, these guys are racing each other very cleanly. I'm sure they're having an absolutely fantastic time. Let's take a look at the Gibbons and Monaco racing each other here side by side on the high banks of Daytona.
Looks like Gibbons did make that pass also cleanly. Just what we like to see.
Then we have Harrison going off the track here. Luna's going to be able to capitalize. This is a replay from earlier in the lap. Luna not letting him pull away. It looks like Harrison, missing his braking zones, is feeling the pressure. That is for sure.
Definitely. It is harder for these drivers to race with traffic. Putting in your own qualifying lap and your own hot laps when you're the only one on the track, it's very different when there is traffic and you have to navigate everybody else's racing lines and when you come up to traffic.
Absolutely. We've been watching Dominic here try and catch these Scuderia Monaco cars. Losing a little bit of time, missing some braking zones, but Dominic obviously has a lot of pace in this Cadillac to see if he can catch these Ferraris. We are back live spectating the Scuderia Monaco cars. And Dominic there on the tail of Anthony. Lap after lap, that is definitely going to be slipstream range. Might be a pass coming here from Dominic here in the next couple turns for sure.
Definitely. Definitely. He is keeping in that slipstream, which is going to make it easier for him to pass when he does get that opportunity. Oh. Stay clean in the bus stop.
Not to jinx any battles here, but we've got second place. We've got Nicholas here catching up to Brian, who is currently in the lead. That Mile High Motor Club car is finding some severe pace, and it looks like Zabelski is under pressure for the first time in this race.
Definitely.
And we've got a lot of cars here coming up on each other, a lot of passing happening. We've got Luna still chasing Harrison. We've got Gibbons and Monaco currently chasing David there in 5th, and we've got a lot of cars.
There's one.
Too
They're
wide
getting
going
in
into turn
between.
1. Super clean. That's a
Nice.
double overtake.
Good pass.
Double overtake from Dominic there. Obviously has a lot of speed. We saw Dominic get absolutely taken out earlier in this race, and it showed he is not
giving up. That is for sure. That was a clean, beautiful pass.
Let's shout out Dominic. That is some great racing there. Now looking at these battles, looking at second place, Nicholas is gaining on our leader, Brian Zabelski. And we might have a new leader here in a couple turns. Looks like Zabelski's pace has fallen off just a little bit these last couple of laps, and Amato has been able to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there are different factors in how you can lose pace, right? If you just lose focus, your tires start to wear. If you get some of those incident points, there are many different things that could help you just lose that position.
Looking at this battle here, it looks like it's all coming down to the braking zones. Nicholas Amato seems to be a lot slower onto the brakes, able to brake a little bit later into the corner to gain some time on Brian here, and he's getting a lot of good runs out of these corners. A good run out of the corner onto the super speedway could propel him into a slipstream, into a pass.
He definitely is closing that gap, putting the pressure on Zabelski. Hopefully he gets close enough to make an attempt at a pass.
A lot of cars here close on the track. As we hop back into the pack, we're currently spectating Gibbons in the Monaco car right behind Dominic. David trying to go past another Scuderia car. Looks for the gap, isn't there. He wants to try and get past all 3 of these cars. I'm sure these Scuderia cars are chattering in their team comms right now. Let's go ahead and just listen in to the Team Monaco to hear what they're saying.
Oh, he bumped
Oh,
him.
look at that. There's some contact.
Oh, but that's such a good recovery.
Good recovery.
That's a great recovery.
A good recovery. Bryson Gibbons is going to let him keep that position. That was really, really honorable from Gibbons there. Getting into the bumper, but letting him keep his spot. Wow, that was...
Oh, that was...
These Monaco drivers are...
We're going to replay that one.
A little... Wow, look at that. The 85 there. Just into
taps the back.
That's the second time that's happened. That was who took him out earlier in the race. That was Gibbons, but Gibbons obviously being really respectful there. Obviously it was an accident and no harm, no foul. I bet that these Team Monaco cars
Luca Roth crash
will be racing a lot. Here we're back on board with Luca Roth here. Going into turn 1 once again. In the replay, and he's just going to miss his braking zone once again.
Keep in mind, Luca was just on vacation, so it's first time actually racing here. I said that so you guys could say it.
We are
chat
currently spectating Luca Roth at the moment in one of the back markers of this field, but this is his first time racing on this track. Let's just keep that in mind. Looks like we got 2 cars in the pit lane here. We got Dominic and Bryson. Both of these cars were involved in this incident, now running into the pits.
Let's see if it is a drive-through penalty.
Penalties.
Or if they're actually pitting.
There's definitely a drive-through penalty there. As you can see, Bechtel passing on the outside, definitely making up some spots. And Gibbons is going to make the pass in the pit lane there. So sorry, I'm out of here.
Hopefully he wasn't speeding before that pit exit, or there will be a penalty for that as well.
Most definitely.
I think Wilder definitely tried to play it safe.
Here we're on a replay with Anthony Monaco here behind his teammate. Anthony there in the number 7. Going to the turn. Oh, and it looks like he's just going to lock up the brakes. I'm not sure what happened there from Anthony.
Come back live.
Going back live, we are now on board with Bryson Gibbons. And now we're with Brian Zabelski, who is under pressure from Amato here in second place. This is the closest he's been. 4 tenths, 3 tenths behind. We're about to go on to the oval here. A good run from Amato could get him up there, but it looks like that was a very good turn from Zabelski here. Well, look at that run. Amato's going to have a run, and I think he might get to him before the bus stop here. It's going to be interesting to see what Zabelski does.
He's closing that gap so quickly.
Zabelski can hold the inside here, or he can hold the outside. See if Amato's going to make a move here going into the bus stop. It doesn't look like it. He had the opportunity, but he's going to stay behind him here in the bus stop. Probably smart not to ruin his race.
This bus stop is a very tricky place to pass. There are opportunities to pass after that. Let's hear it in the chat. Are you guys rooting for Amato to pass Zabelski? Let us know.
Let us know how we liking this race. And we're getting a lot of interesting battles. We're getting some drama. And we're going to be hopping in and talking with these teams to talk about everything that's happened so far in the first half an hour of this race here soon, once the racing kind of levels out here.
All right, we have a fan for Amato. Come on, let's pass. He's getting so close. He's putting that pressure on. Not sure why he keeps backing off. Maybe it's just not an opportune time to pass for him. He is a big fan of clean passing that we've seen. So I think we're going to try to hop in with a team, and we're just going to listen to their comms.
Let's just go ahead and listen to the comms for the Mile High Motor Club. That's EJ Luna and Nick Amato, who is currently fighting for first place. Yep, we're just up in the broadcast booth. We're just listening to some team chatter. We're watching some great battles here from Nick here in P2. So don't let us interfere. Just do your thing.
Oh, you're good. I'm chilling. I like it a lot. Happy to be in second right now. I think Brian is thinking I'm trying to overtake going into T1. So I know he's driving defensive, but I'm just trying to run him off and use some fuel and see if I can save some fuel by sticking behind him, save some tire, and just kind of enjoy the drive.
There you go. That's some good strategy.
Is part of your strategy using that slipstream to close that gap?
Absolutely, but I don't really want to close the gap. I want to keep him believing that I'm, struggling to keep up. If I can do that, then he keeps driving a little defensively when we get close, and I save a little fuel, I save a little tire. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of good lap times between you and Brian here. How much is the slipstream affecting you when you're on those straightaways? How fast are you catching?
It's honestly not much, but it is worth a tenth. So we'll take it every time.
All right, well, it looks like we've got some little bit of mind games going as part of your strategy. I like it, I'm for it, and looks like you're doing a really great job. You have some fans in the chat that are rooting for you, so keep up the good work.
All right, like to hear it.
Anything you want to say to them? They are listening.
Thanks so much for being out here. It's a small part of what I do, but I really love it, and I appreciate the support.
Absolutely, and I just want to comment, EJ, we were watching your battles with Harrison. That was some really clean racing. The chat loved that battle.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to get back to it. Maybe we can get some more battling done for y'all.
Awesome, sounds good.
How many lots of fuel you got left? What does your black box say?
I got 22 liters left.
All right, we are back. Question in chat, what does it mean when the players' names go blue? So as you can see, we've got Anthony Monaco, Bechtel, Wilder, Gibbons. Their names are blue because they are not on the same lap as the leader. So they are not a lap down, but they are not on the same lap as the leader. So that just goes to show how Brian Sabelski has just been rocking these laps and just pulling away.
Definitely, your whole top 5 have that big of a gap in between the bottom 6 to create that gap, which is why you'll see Anthony Monaco's name just turned. Well, before this, his name just turned because he passed that finish line to get on that same lap.
Yes, if you look at the bottom right of your screen, you can see the mini map as to where the cars are running relative to on the track. As you can see, we've got first place and second place going around that second bank turn of Daytona right before the straightaway. And they have quite the gap to third here. Third, not even at the bus stop yet. So we got a car in the pits. That's Dominic Wilder going through the pits again. Dominic has unfortunately had to go into the pits a lot.
He definitely has. Now he might have that drive. No, he doesn't have a drive-through penalty. It looks like he has 6 incident points.
We are 36 minutes into this race, so maybe there is pit strategy and fuel going on with these cars, because we know these cars are not going to be able to make it without going into the pits, without pitting or fueling and putting in tires. As you can see, we've got some pit stop strategy there on the bottom right, but pit stop strategy is really up to the teams. These teams have been practicing a lot before this race to see what the ideal strategy would be. And ultimately, when it came down to talking to the teams before the race, it came down to how long could they go with fuel and ultimately how much could they save while keeping up good pace in the race. So we'll be seeing a lot of cars just going into the pits, maybe losing some track position and coming out with some other cars. We might have some battles on our hands.
Definitely. They might need gas. They might need new tires. We're not sure.
Like looking
Everyone
at the map
drives
here,
differently.
We got Bechtel. Looking at Monaco here, looks like he's going to make a pass. Going around the outside there of that Scuderia Monaco car. Bechtel went into the pits very early. It looks like Bechtel's going to be making another go into the pits.
Let's jump in with Bechtel on chat.
Okay, we're going to jump into the chat with Full Throttle Racing. Maybe get some clarification with Bechtel as to why he's pitting again.
They didn't replace my tires. I don't know why. To see why. But I got warm tires. Ooh, never mind.
Hello, Full Throttle Racing. This is the production booth.
Hello.
How's it going?
Could be going better.
Yeah.
Are we seeing some just green flag pit stops, some fuel, some tire? What's going on?
Yes. Well, this is our planned pit stop.
Okay. Now we did see, Bechtel, you did go into the pits earlier in the race. Was there an issue, a penalty, something happened?
So I'm faster than Brian into the boot, the bus stop. That's what it is. I'm faster than him into the bus stop, so I cut, trying to get a pass on him, and it gave me a time penalty, and I didn't clear that penalty, just barely. So I was 0.1 clearing it, and I ran out of time, so I had a 42-second stop.
Ah, so it was clearing a penalty.
Yes.
So what is your strategy to climb your way back up to the top of the leaderboard if you think you can?
I don't know if I'll catch them by the time of the race, but I have been noticing that lap after lap I am faster than them. I set the fastest lap, and that's all I can do.
We've been seeing some really solid lap times coming out from you guys, and we're only 40 minutes into this race, so there's still a lot of chance
Plenty of time.
of improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plenty of time for them to mess up.
We do have your fans in the chat. We have a Full Throttle fan, we have Dayton fans, we have Benjamin fans. Someone just said, go fast. Anything you'd like to say to your fans?
I'm making up time. Yep, we're setting good lap times, fastest we've done. Keeping it solid.
That's what we like to hear.
We do see Benjamin Bechtel's lap time there in magenta for the fastest lap there.
Yeah, Benjamin with a 1:32.1. That is the best lap time we've seen all night. So obviously very locked in, very focused.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. You have a fan saying you better catch up. They're rooting for you. I think they want you to do well in this race and your team to do well.
Yep, just got my tires warmed up, so I'm gonna start pushing again.
Oh, awesome. Well, we wish you good luck, and I'm sure we're going to hop back into your chat here soon to offer you some bonus points. Any last words of wisdom?
Distract other teams so they mess up.
Any team in particular you'd like us to try to distract?
Brian or Nicholas Amato, either one.
The leaders,
Okay.
all right.
All right, we'll do our best.
Good luck, guys. There you go. So that actually makes a lot of sense. We saw Bechtel there going to the pits early in the race, even though he was battling at the front. And now we know it's because he cut the track and didn't slow down
He didn't
enough
slow
to serve
down
that
enough.
penalty. Here we're on board with Lucas Roth once again in that 11 car. Looking at the replay, see what happened here. Oh, looks like the back of the car just went out from underneath him there. In that number 11 car. That is a really good looking car.
It
Unfortunately,
is.
it is
Very
facing the
sleek.
wrong way on the track.
Dayton Harrison went off track.
We play with Dayton Harrison here, going off track just a little bit there. We saw Harrison racing with Luna, but looks like the full throttle racing car is going to be able to maintain his gap there. Not a lot of time lost. That's what we like to see.
Now, some questions in the chat. Someone's got a question for Brian. I think that's a full throttle fan that wants to distract the Sabelski's team. Let's see. So we'll get on that here shortly. It helps to warm the tires. Yes. It does help them to warm the tires. When you're driving on cold tires, it's easier. This track is even more icy than normal. It's easier to slip. It's easier to lock up.
Sun is going down.
It's warming the tires is definitely something that happens.
Absolutely,
now,
yes.
as the sun has set on this track, the track temperature is also colder, which makes it harder to keep your tires at a warm temperature for faster racing.
Yep, so the warmer your tires are, the more the tires will grip to the surface of the track, the stickier that rubber gets on the bottom of the tire, and there's a lot of factors that come into that. So as you can see, there's a 78 degrees there in Florida there at Daytona National Speedway, and once that sun goes away, the track is going to cool down and the tires are going to cool down, which means there's going to be a lot less grip and we might see a lot more spins going into turns and especially in braking zones.
Definitely, it is overcast. You see those clouds if you're looking up at the sky. I know it's the whole point is to be watching the cars, but if you look at the sky, you see that sun is setting. It's cloudy. That temperature does play a big part.
And we see we have a lot of cars going to the pits. We have Nicholas Amato, who is in second, who is currently in the pits. We got David in the pits as well. EJ Luna is now leaving the pits. And this might spice some things up here for cars going around, because the cars that come out of the pits, since they are brand new tires, they will also be cold tires, and it usually takes a lap or two to get the heat in those tires so they are gripping as hard as they can.
Definitely, and you can expect those first couple laps out of the pits to be slower. You can see their lap times. They are going to be a little bit slower because they have to be patient with those cold tires.
Now, pit strategy as well as tires is also very important, because if you come out on the track behind slower cars, you could lose time against the people that you are actually racing in the race. So as we can see, we're spectating Nicholas Amato here. We can see some cars in front of him. These cars that are in front of him are on different strategies and have just cycled through from the pits. So he will have to deal with these cars if he wants to go race to the front.
For voice, go in cockpit. with Nick for voice.
We're gonna jump right in with Nick. We do want to let him know that Mom and Dad, we see you in the chat. We're gonna jump in with him to let you know. So if there's anything else you want to say, type quickly, let us know, and we'll relay the message.
All right, riding along with Mile High Motor Club. How are we feeling?
Feeling all right. Had a confusing pit stop. Not sure why my crew took me back up in the air, but that added an extra 6 seconds.
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought I had a good strategy going.
Oh.
I came out right behind Dayton.
Looks like a little bit of a lockup there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get past the back marker and didn't leave enough space, didn't know his braking zone. That's all right, it happens.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Pit cycles can be a little tricky here when you come out racing cars that aren't on the same lap as you. So looks like a good recovery here. We've seen some really good laps coming out from you. And we would just like to shout out your mom and dad are in the chat cheering you on.
All right, thanks Mom and Dad. That's a real crew right there.
Got any special shout outs? Any special messages?
Oh, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You know this stuff means a lot to me.
There you go.
Awesome. They believe in you. They said you can do it. Oh, sister too.
All right.
Looks like the whole family's here. They are cheering you on. We're all watching you. Keep up the good work. Keep clean racing. Get your tires warm.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, well, we saw Nicholas Amato there spin around on the track, fighting the back markers, and now if you look on the screen, he is 25 seconds behind Zabelski, who is currently just hanging out in the lead there. Let's go ahead and look at Bryson Gibbons here for that Scuderia Monaco replay. Let's see what happened to this 85 car. Oh, it looks like the back end just came out
a
from
lockup.
behind him. Like he lost
Which did open the window for that full throttle car to just pass right through cleanly.
Hey, that just goes to show this is a long race, and it takes a lot of mental endurance to not make any mistakes in this race.
It definitely does. You can have a good first part of the race. Sometimes when you're racing the same track, you kind of lose some of that concentration. So it's a mental game. It's a physical game. You know, it's hard, and we put a lot of pressure on these racers. We definitely appreciate all the support we're getting in the chat. Families, friends, strangers, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for cheering on your favorite drivers. Is there anybody you'd like us to be on board with?
Currently on board with Bryson Gibbons here going into the pits. This is around the time all of these drivers are looking for some fuel. And here we go. Looks like Amato is off the track there. Dayton Harrison in that 30 car for Full Throttle Racing is going to make the pass.
Taking advantage of that, that little bit of off track.
Most definitely, that is something we've seen from Harrison again and again.
And now he's putting on that pressure.
Back live with Amato here. Harrison moved up to second with that move. And as you can see, Harrison right behind the lapped car. See what Amato can do to catch up.
We've got a Dayton fan in the chat. We've got a Gibbons fan. Whew. Sounds like, like I said, we are here in the clubhouse. We do have some racers down in the full motion sims. sounded like we might have had some issues. We're on board with Wilder, who
That's
is downstairs.
Dominic making a pass on Gibbons here. These two just cannot seem to separate from each other on the track here. Looking at the replay, going into turn 1. Oh, and it looks like Luca Roth again into the wall through turn 1. That is a really tricky corner. You cannot blame this 11 car for getting loose as much as he is, because that is such a hard corner to get right.
It is hard. And when you have the amount of experience that Luca has, which is not a lot of experience, this is a hard track.
Most definitely.
We are on that replay. It looks like he just locked up and hit the wall.
Another hard hit there for that 11 car. All right, let's go hop on board with our leader here, Zabelski, who has just been running some phenomenal laps. 132.4, currently 28 seconds in front of the leader. He's looking really good.
He definitely is. Now keep in mind, he does not have the fastest lap. Bechtel does still hold that fastest lap. He is putting in the work to try to climb his way up the ladder. Now, Harrison is not quite at that short of a gap to put the pressure on Zabelski, but he is closing that gap lap after lap.
We've got Amato here. We just saw him lose that position to Harrison after going off, missing his braking zone, but now within a second, trying to get within that slipstream to try and get that position back. And we know Amato has a lot of fans in the chat. This could get real exciting here. This turn 1 braking zone is very, very hard to get. As you can see, just a lot of space closed up there. Good corner for Amato here. He's got to get that power down cleanly and just try and keep it smooth through these next few corners here.
Definitely. Now, we did talk with Amato earlier, and he did say, you know, part of his racing is a little bit of that mind game. You know, putting the pressure on the people in front of them. And sometimes that's all it takes for other drivers to lose that concentration, to feel the pressure behind you, make them think that you're going to go past them, and then back off a little bit can cause, you know, some lockups, some off tracks. So he definitely is in it for, he's in it to win it, I guess is what I should say.
Definitely. Still within a second there. We got EJ Luna there in 4th. He's currently behind some lap traffic there. And this is actually helping him, even though that is lap traffic and he's not battling this car for position. He is getting valuable
slipstream. He can use that slipstream, definitely.
To get some better lap times here.
And he's
see what
gonna
this
go
11 car
around Luca Roth.
Luca Roth can do. Keeping it clean.
Whoa.
Oh, he looks to the outside. Luca Roth is going to give him his space. That's the right way to do it there. Lost a little bit of time on Amato there in 3rd. But on board with Harrison here, he is gaining. He's slowly, but he's gaining on the leader.
Definitely.
This battle for second is getting close. Amato just reeling him in
he
corner after corner.
He is putting the pressure on Harrison, that is for sure.
We're currently 53 minutes into this race. These drivers have done 34 laps so far, and they're not even halfway done.
It has been a very exciting first almost hour of the race, and I expect it to just keep happening in this fashion.
Absolutely. A lot of more pit stops have to be made. It's going to be more battles with lap traffic. And we have a lot of cars just climbing up the ranks. I mean, look at Bechtel. He's already up to 5th. 206 miles an hour. He's the fastest car on the track right now.
He is definitely pushing his car to the limits, which is what he said when we hopped into the chat. That's what he said he was trying to do. Looks like he's, you know, driving his race. As we did talk to him, we did know, you know, it is important to serve those penalties. If you go off track and get a time penalty, that means you have to slow down. You have to slow down and give a gap against the car in front of you. If you don't, which is what he was saying happened, he didn't give enough of that gap, so he had to stop. He didn't have to pit for any tires or gas, but he did have to stop.
As you can see, Bechtel just went around Alex Lewis. There was a lap car, missed the turn in point there for the bus stop, able to get right past him. Good pass there for Bechtel. Didn't lose any time.
Nice and clean. Now sometimes those can be distractions when you have cars in front of you going off track, driving a different racing line than you do. It can be distracting and can make you think to yourself, maybe I'm not driving the best racing line. It is important for these racers to drive their race the best way they know how.
Most definitely. You can take a look at how many pit stops these cars have made. Look at Bechtel has made 2 pit stops because we know he had to do that drive-through at the very beginning, and despite his 2 pit stops, he is still flying away from the competition behind him. That 131.6, his laps are getting faster and faster. His tires are very hot right now.
Definitely.
But I can see that sun setting there in Florida. Daytona is going to get dark real soon.
It definitely is. Now you can also see in these pit stops, Luca Roth is having some issues. He has had to pit 5 times. Now this possibly could be because he had those time penalties and didn't serve them. You know, he could be having issues with this car. We're not sure, but there are definitely some strategies to how many times you do pit stop, and that could be detrimental to your race.
Absolutely. We have Alex Lewis here for OK Motorsports, going to just spin around there. His teammate behind him, maybe a little bit of pressure there, but Alex Lewis is going to get a little bit loose. Luckily, no other cars were involved, and he's able to get right back on the track. All right, chat, let us know, who do you want us to hop on board with? Do you want to hear any team chatters from any of these teams? Let us know, because I'd like to hear some team chatter.
You know, John, I think it's time that we do some trivia.
Ooh,
Let's hear it, chat. Let's get some trivia in here. Let us know which team you want us to hop in with first. We can give you a quick rundown of our teams. We have OK Motorsports. That's with Zabelski, Lewis, and Roth. We have Mile High Motor Club. That's with Luna and Amato. We have Monaco, who is Gibbons, Ames, and Monaco. And Full Throttle Racing, who is Bechtel, Harrison, and Wilder. So who do you want us to jump in with? We're going to try to distract them with some trivia and give them some bonus points, because we know it is hard when we hop in to distract them.
Where are our racing fans at? Let us know, chat. Let us know.
Nobody wants to give their team bonus points? Come on, chat.
All teams will be asked these questions eventually, but chat will be able to help them score points by also answering these true and false questions correctly. So if you want to help out your team, let's answer some trivia questions.
Oh, looks like they want Full Throttle.
All right,
chat, be ready to help answer these questions.
I'm gonna hop in with team captain Benjamin Bechtel for Full Throttle Racing. Hello, Full Throttle. This is the production booth. You got us?
Hello.
We are doing good. We are here at the production booth, and we are going to ask you some true or false trivia questions.
Okay.
The chat picked you, so hopefully the chat is ready to help you out answering these questions to offer you some bonus points.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys 4 true or false questions. As a team, you guys can decide or answer on these questions if you would like, but if the majority of you guys get the questions right and chat also gets them right, we will award you guys some bonus points.
All right.
All right, first true or false question. The state of Florida is larger than England.
I believe that is true.
I guess true.
All right, chat. Your racers think it's true. What do you think? All right, looks like chat is agreeing with you that it is true.
Three. We don't need a third vote from commentary, I guess. What do you guys think, though?
Oh, we have somebody in chat saying that it is false.
I don't know.
Do you want to change your answer? I think there's a lot of truths. Let's hear the question one more time.
The state of Florida is larger than England.
Larger than England. Majority says true. Majority of your chat says true. Oh, we had our false answer say, just kidding. They think it's also true. You guys want to go with true?
Yes.
All right, they're going with true. John, what's the answer?
All right, the answer is true.
Nice work, guys.
All right, here's question number 2. As opposed to most countries, there is no number considered unlucky in Italy. True or false?
Ooh, is there an unlucky number in Italy?
Probably, but that also
Yeah.
feels like a fact that could be true.
Could be true, could be false. Let us know, chat.
Chat, what do you think?
I'll read the question again. As opposed to most countries, so different than most countries, there was no number to be considered unlucky in Italy. Is that true or false?
All right, your chat says there are unlucky numbers for sure. 17 is unlucky. 17. False. False.
Chat is saying false. What do you guys think?
I'm down for false.
Yeah.
All right, chat.
They would never leave us
Steve
alone.
Let's
says
see if
false.
you're right. Your team is going with you with false. Are you right? Are you helping them out? What's the answer, John?
The answer is false.
All right. Thank you, chat. That was a hard one.
Yeah, I have no idea what countries consider unlucky numbers. So there you go. Good job, chat.
I wonder if we have a national unlucky number.
13.
That's our national unlucky number? Woo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good
All right.
to know.
We got one more question for you guys. True or false with the chat. True or false? If you're in Germany caught driving in flip-flops, you can receive a fine.
Yes, that's
True
true.
or false? Drivers saying true. Chat, what do you think?
Chat, let's hear it. Can you get a fine for driving in flip-flops? I would never survive in Germany. I am always in
The
flip-flops.
Autobahn and flip-flops sounds like a scary, scary time.
We have 1 true. 2 true.
Chat is saying true.
Keep in mind, Dayton is trying to answer these with pressure on his tail right now.
Hi, Dane. What do you think? True or false?
True.
Oh, true.
True from the
True.
team. True from
Now,
chat.
it's
And the
extra
answer.
pressure for Dayton because he is in the bus stop trying to overtake.
Look at that. Under pressure. Team answers true. Chat answers true. And the answer is true.
True. Awesome job.
Congrats,
Full throttle. Looks like you're getting bonus points. We did have someone in the chat say, I guess you only get a fine if you're caught, which is true.
That is a good answer.
All right, well, keep up the good driving. Your chat gave you extra bonus points. We'll check back in with you later. All right, thanks, chat. Thanks for helping us out. Thank you for helping
That
out
was
your
fun.
team.
Chat's a lot smarter than I was expecting. I would not have.
I
Guess
didn't
those
know the
questions
Italy
right.
question. I would not know that that there is an unlucky number,
I
let
would-
alone that it was number 17.
I would have thought England was larger than Florida. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So that one, I was completely wrong.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, all the points. Woody woot. Thanks, chat. Thanks for helping out your team.
And we got 3 more teams who got to answer these questions. I've
Yes,
got
we
a
do.
lot of trivia here that we still got to ask. So we've got looks like almost an hour and 20 minutes left in this race, about halfway here. And the racing is still heating up. We're spectating EJ Luna here for the Mile High Motor Club, currently behind his teammate, keeping it clean. And we're at the point of the race now where all of these drivers are just trying to lock in.
They definitely are. You can see on the stream that Benjamin Bechtel still has the fastest lap. He is holding on to that. He is pushing, even though we probably distracted him a little bit during that trivia. He's still maintaining that fastest lap.
He really is. He's definitely one to look out for on this track here. And we did see he was like 20 seconds or so behind the car in fourth, EJ Luna, but that gap can certainly be closing here.
It definitely is closer. You can see on the very top of your screen, that gap is closing. You can see that car coming closer and closer. We are on board now with Bryson Gibbons, I'm sorry.
Currently behind his Scuderia Monaco teammate. And we've seen these Ferraris like with each other the whole race basically.
Definitely. And it could be part of their team orders to stay together. Bryson is the team principal for this team. So it could be his orders telling his teammate to stay ahead of him, giving him the slipstream, or maybe they're having conflicting strategies and Bryson wants to get past.
All right, what do you say we keep this trivia going? Hop in with another team. Chat.
I think so. Chat, let us know. Who
We
do
just
you want us
talked
to
with
jump
Full
in with?
Throttle Racing. We've got Team Scuderia, Team OK Motorsports, and Team Mile High Motor Club. We still need to answer some questions. Who are you cheering for? Who do you want to hear from?
Or if you're cheering for a different team, who do you want us to distract? It is distracting having us jump into their team chats.
Oh, most definitely. Braking zones, I mean, it only takes a little bit of distraction to miss those, and that can cause some serious time loss.
And we're asking them to think, right? We're asking them to think about what the answers could be, which means that they're not thinking about the race.
We got a chatter saying Mile High. We can hop in with the Mile High Motor Club with EJ Luna and Nick Amato. Asks them some trivia questions and to see overall how their race is going.
Definitely. Keep in mind there are only 2 drivers on this team today. So if you are out there and wanting to join, we are looking for reserve drivers. So, let us know if someone can't make it. You can hop in the seat for one race, win some cash. It's fun. Even if you are a reserve driver and you can only do one race, it's times like this when we would ask you to jump in. So here we go with Mile High.
Absolutely. Let's hop in with Mile High. Hey, Mile High, it's a production booth. How you guys doing?
Oh, hanging in there.
Sounds good. We've been spectating you guys putting down some good laps, but now I think it's time to offer up some bonus points with some true or false questions.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions that are going to be true or false. We're going to see if chat can help you guys answer them. And if you guys are able to answer them correctly, we'll give you guys some bonus points.
Let's do it.
All right. First, true or false question. No animals on board the sinking Titanic survived. True or false?
I want to say false. What do you think, man?
Yeah, we'll go false.
False. Chat, you want to help them out?
Saying false, so that means there were some animals on the Titanic that survived the sinking. What do you guys think that, chat?
It sounds super unlikely, but it sounds random enough to be true. So, yeah, I'm down with false.
All right, your chat is saying false.
Chat is saying false. The answer is false.
All right.
3 dogs survived the sinking of the Titanic.
Wow.
How did they
right now. Let's go. Get that energy.
There you go. There you go.
3 dogs. Good job.
Are they still alive today?
The card doesn't tell me that, unfortunately.
We don't know if the dogs are still alive today.
No, if they did, that'd be some really old
They're
dogs.
really, really old dogs.
I'm gonna need their names, what type of dog they were. Come on.
Names, breeds. How many bonus points do you want?
All of them.
Oh. All right. Well, we've got 2 more true/false questions for you. We need chat to help us out.
All right, second question. True or false? More than half of the men in the world have facial hair. True or false?
Ooh, facial hair on men.
I'm gonna say false. I feel like a lot of the Asian population doesn't have facial hair, or at least doesn't keep it, and that's a lot of the world.
There you go. Drivers are saying false. Chat, what do
All
you
right,
think?
chat, where are you at? Drivers, do you have facial hair?
It's a new thing for me. I'm trying it out.
Drivers are saying
Right,
less than half of the
drivers.
world has facial hair.
Oh wait. You said less than half of the world has facial hair.
So no, the question is more than half of the men in the
Oh.
world have facial hair. You
That-
said false.
right,
So you
correct.
think less. Yeah, okay.
I think less. Yeah.
All right, so chat, what do you think?
Chat thinks false. We have 1 false answer. Come on, chat, help us out.
While we're waiting for chat, what do you guys think, commentary? Sean and Mercy.
Honestly, the point made about the more
Asian
Asian countries
countries,
not
yeah.
having facial hair is an interesting point, but I still think that most men have facial hair,
You
I
think
would say. Not me, personally. So I would personally say false. But chat is also saying false.
We have one true. We have 1 true in chat. I don't know. I think I would probably go with true. But that is a good it's a good thinking, it's a good theory.
Did you say half the population, or did you say half the male population?
Male.
The male population.
I was gonna say, we need those qualifiers.
All
We
right.
got someone in chat saying, yikes, more than half can grow it, but many shave it. So
What do you guys
how
think?
many keep it? All right, team.
Gonna stick with false.
Team has
Yes.
false. Commentary has what?
We're split in commentary.
Now we're split.
Thank
All right,
you,
I'll be
Anthony.
tiebreaker.
What a guy.
I'll just go false. I'll agree with chat.
False. All right.
All right, now
All right.
down to the team.
All right, so the team says false, chat says false, commentators come to false. The answer is true.
True. Yeah.
True. More
Oh,
than
no.
half.
Should
of the
listen
world
to
have
Nick's
facial
mom.
hair.
She's
Yeah, Nick's mom had the answer. She's the only one that said true.
Wow.
Nobody listens.
You know
I mean,
what?
how do
Mama.
we know? We're not even the ones who have the facial hair.
I should listen to my mom more often.
Wise words.
Did you hear that, Mom? He said, should listen to you more often.
All right, the last
chance.
true or false question here. True or false? The last plane to crash after being struck by lightning went down in 1967.
Ooh,
True or false?
that's very specific.
What's the correlation? Could it have been struck by lightning and then crashed later? Because that happens to a ton of planes, and it's not reported. Because now
I'm
they
ass-
can deal with it so well.
I'm
Nick, you're
assuming
thinking too
once
hard
the
about
plane
this.
got struck by lightning, it just went down.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it. It was hit by lightning, crashed.
I'm gonna let a teammate answer that one. I was on in the last one.
The last one was in what year?
1967.
I'm gonna
One of
say,
your chat listeners says true. Nick's mom says listen to your mother.
Did she say true? Because if she said it, I'm believer.
Yeah,
She hasn't answered yet.
I'm with
She
mom.
was also an airline attendant for 20 years, so I feel like she has some insider knowledge.
Oh,
on
maybe
this.
she knows. She's got the insider knowledge. All right, Nick's mom, you're on the spot. He's going to go with whatever you say, I think.
Chat is saying true. I personally think the answer is also true.
You think it's true? That's such a specific number, specific year, but we have made improvements. I think I would also go with true. Nick's mom says true.
And that means I'm saying
We're
true.
going with true.
All
There
right.
we go. Everyone's going with true. The answer is False.
Oh,
This
not
happened
true.
to a Russian plane in 2019.
Oh, that's recent. That's only what?
Wow.
6 years ago.
That sounds like a conspiracy.
Right? How do we know? Do we monitor that
How can we be
airspace?
so sure?
Ay, ay, ay.
All right. Well, thanks for answering these trivia questions for us, guys. It looks like you guys are doing really good. Currently sitting second and third. How do you guys feel nearing almost the halfway point of this race?
This is my first endurance race, and I just realized how much respect I have for drivers. In real life, dealing with this too, my knees are hurting, my arms are hurting, and the mental focus to like remember even what corner you're at is pretty crazy. That's cost me once. So yeah, we're doing all right, but major respect to everyone out here.
Definitely respect to everybody. This is, we were talking earlier that it is a mental game. You have to keep your concentration. It's physical. You have to plan and practice really hard for these long races.
And I just really thank everyone for being out here. It's awesome to have this participation. But one thing I want to add too, I think it was Alexander, teach that boy how blue flags work.
Ooh, we got some fighting words putting out there. Beef.
It cost me.
For those of you in chat who don't know what a blue flag is, it is when you are getting lapped. There is another car behind you that needs to pass. No really reason to have your elbows out and, you know, cost them their race when they are lapping you.
All right, well, thanks for answering our questions, guys. Good luck for the rest of the race, and wish you guys the best.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
All right, well, that was fun.
That was some interesting trivia.
I'm really bad at trivia, apparently.
Yeah, I shouldn't have second guessed myself with that whole airplane thing. I should have said false.
Yeah.
That's what I was feeling.
I don't know. I was with you. I was confident that airplanes had come a long way to survive lightning strikes. But
Right.
I guess we're wrong.
Technology changes, you know, but maybe not as quickly as I thought.
Not in Russia, apparently.
Apparently not. Maybe there's more lightning in Russia.
There
I
you
don't know.
Yeah, as we are around halfway in this race, we are going to leave you guys with some racing action. Us broadcasters have been talking to you guys now for an hour and 15 minutes, so we're going to take a brief break from you guys.
Just a tiny
and
one.
We will get right back into the racing. Now, before we go away with the break, we're going to hop on with the team. I think we should hop on with Team Scuderia, see how they're doing in their racing, and go from there. So, enjoy the comms.
I can still hear you guys. Hey. Did you move? You only moved Denver Racing Social into their comm? Yeah. Well, you need to move Denver Racing Social as well. Yeah. So that we could hear it.
Hello? You are really quiet, unfortunately.
I don't know.
We're live on the cast.
2 leaders are pitting.
Okay.
EJ and Nick are pitting.
Monaco broadcast, buddy Ren.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
All good, all good, all good. David, if you could slow up just a little. Dayton's not got a slipstream. I'm trying to attack to you. I can hit fuel.
Yeah, Monaco, like the country or Grand Prix.
Alright, we're pulling away from him.
okay.
Oh, watching Dayton. Fuck me, is he? What? Oh my goodness.
All right, we are back. We are over halfway, and we've got about an hour left in this endurance race. How you feeling?
Well, I'm cold, but you know, I'm excited. This has been such a good race. We've got great people in the chat. Thank you for those of you who are responding, helping us out with trivia, cheering for your favorite teams. Looks like, you know, just quick recap while we took our little break. Zabelski still in first, Harrison in second, Luna in third, which is who we're on board with right now. Amato in fourth, Bechtel in fifth. These gaps are starting to shorten up. Looks like we did have some more pits. We've got 2 and 3 pits. Zabelski has still yet to pit the second time. So we'll see what his strategy is, but there is almost exactly 1 hour left of racing left.
Yeah, by the time these guys are done with their racing, they're gonna have to run over 100 laps at Daytona, which we've heard from our drivers, it has been very mentally and physically exhausting.
Definitely.
Racing these cars around this track.
It definitely is. So we give props to our drivers, especially, you know, drivers that are here in the clubhouse on the motion sims. Not easy. It's not easy. If you watched our Le Mans broadcast, you saw those sims were moving and grooving the whole entire 4 hours we were racing. The ones here in the clubhouse, we can hear them up here. They are, you know, they're going. Everyone who has their setups at home, they're all a little bit different, you know, but being there and racing for that amount of time is not easy. So we give props to them. They are definitely earning their winnings today. And thank you again, chat, for being here. We wouldn't be on here doing this without you guys.
Let us know if you're still here, chat, who you're cheering for, who you're rocking with right now. We've still got to ask some trivia questions to Team Scuderia and Team OK Motorsports here in a bit. But let's just go ahead and recap where all of these drivers are from the start of the race. We've got Zabelski, who started first, put in a fantastic qualifying lap, and has been just dominating up front basically the whole race. No change from there. Absolute domination from him. Second place, we've got Dayton Harrison, who has moved up 4 spots from his qualifying spot. We knew this was going to happen. Harrison's a very consistent driver. Just ran a 1:34.0, which is a pretty good lap time. Currently sitting in second, and then the third, we've got EJ Luna looking really good. That's who we're on board with right now for the Mile High Motor Club in that Cadillac, and that is a good looking car.
It is. I definitely love that it has our, you know, Colorado, you know, rep in the state.
Absolutely. You don't see a lot of Colorado representation in motorsports.
Definitely not, because you don't think Colorado motorsports. Although we do have plenty of motorsport tracks here in Colorado. We have High Plains Raceway, we have the Colorado National Speedway, we have Pikes Peak International, I think is what it's called. Yep. We've got raceways here. You know, we've got karting tracks here. We've got karting tracks local. So it is becoming more of a scene. We obviously have Denver Racing Social, which is right here. Come and join us. Check into our memberships if you'd like. If you'd like, you know, check out our Instagram stories. You know, check out us here on Twitch. We're always streaming. Come be a member. Come enjoy all this fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we're gonna make this, I forgot the name of our women's team. Racing Queens.
The Racing Queens, there you
Racing
go.
Queens. We're gonna make a Racing Queens team. It's gonna be great. So come on and join us. We have 2 Benjamin fans in the chat right now. We've got a Dayton fan, which is Full Throttle Racing. You guys got this. So thank you for cheering on Full Throttle. Looks like has a lot of support in this chat. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for chatting with us. We appreciate you being here and interacting with us. We're having a lot of fun. Hope you're having a lot of fun with us.
Yeah, it's been a great hour and a half so far of all of these races. As you can see, the race strategy is still continuing. On the bottom right-hand side of your screen there, you can see the pit stop strategy and how many laps they've run on their tires so far in this race. Zabelski has currently only done 2 stops, with Harrison doing 3, and he's got much fresher tires here as we go into this next stint of the race. And then we have Bechtel, who has made 4 pit stops this race, currently sitting in 4th. And I mean, if that doesn't show how fast he is, that's pretty impressive.
And you know, he still has the fastest lap. If anything, he is consistent. Full Throttle, I think that whole team, one of their biggest strategies is to stay consistent, especially in these endurance races. It is so hard for them to stay consistent for 2.5 hours. Have you done anything straight for 2.5 hours and been consistent through that whole time? These guys are keeping their pace at about a minute 30, minute 32. It's been an hour and a half. I definitely could not do that without a lot of practice.
These guys are real racers. You can just tell by how they're running this track so far into the race. I mean, an hour and a half straight, no bathroom breaks.
Nope.
No, like any kind of break. I'm sure we've heard from the drivers, their legs are getting fatigued, their arms are getting fatigued, their mental's getting fatigued.
Yes.
I'm happy where we are right now. This is
Yeah,
the more
it's
comfortable
comfy.
spot I would feel
I get to
spectating
sip on my water. We got to take a little bit of a break, so thank you for hanging out with us during that. We jumped into a team chat for that. Practice makes possible. You are not wrong. As if you were here at the beginning of our stream, we did jump on with Full Throttle. We did talk to Benjamin, who is the team principal for his team. He did say that he has put down about 200 laps on this track. He's raced this track for multiple hours, and it shows. He's maintaining that fastest lap and working his way up to the top of the grid.
Yes, he is.
Even after serving that time penalty.
Currently on board with Dominic Wilder for Full Throttle Racing here. And I may be wrong, but is that Bryson Gibbons ahead of him?
I think so. I think it is.
That is unbelievable. These two drivers just cannot get enough of each other here. Been racing each other hard.
And it looks like Amato's not far in front of them as well. So it could be, you know.
So the car right in front of Dominic right now, that is EJ Luna, but Bryson Gibbons is only a couple tenths of a second ahead as well. Right there, we can see Bryson Gibbons in the 85.
Ooh,
oh, look at that. Looks like Luna's going to go to the
clean
inside.
Pass.
Going to make it happen there. And you know what that means? That means Gibbons and Wilder are just bumper to bumper once again.
Yep.
We'll try and keep our camera on these guys, see what happens here. Now we're getting a question in chat, when the names turn red, what does that mean? So essentially, it's around the same thing that it means when the names turn blue. So it means that the drivers in red are just on a completely different lap than the cars in white and the cars in blue. So it just goes to show how spaced out these cars are on the track. So the more you know.
Do you guys have any other questions in chat? Questions about iRacing? Questions about DRS?
Take a look at this replay here of Anthony Monaco. Looks like he's just going to barely miss that braking point there. Go off the track, only lose a couple seconds for sure, but still, it could have been a lot worse. It doesn't look like there's any cars near him, so
he definitely handled that well. You could, you could panic, you could slam on your brakes, you could spin out. So he did handle that off track well as far as getting back into the race.
Now let's take a look at what's going on here. We're still on board with Gibbons for Team Scuderia Monaco here. And I don't know if you can tell just on the very bottom of your screen, that is Dominic Wilder trying to catch up. And it looks like the car in front, that is EJ Luna, is on a different lap than Gibbons here. So they are not racing each other on this lap. But Dominic and Bryson are. And if that is absolutely bizarre to me. These guys have been tangoing up with each other for the last hour and a half. These guys, they just must be.
They are pretty on pace with each other.
Oh, look at that. It looks like Gibbons is going to go a little bit wide into turn one, misses braking zone, and Dominic Wilder is going to capitalize off of that move there. Dominic moves up a spot. Gibbons moves down, and I don't think Gibbons is done with him yet.
Oh, definitely not. Now the pressure is on Wilder to maintain his position, to widen that gap. It looks like he is widening that gap. We are at the back of Wilder's car. We are seeing Gibbons, who is behind him, but he's also pushing on that. He's not giving up that position as easy.
Taking a look at pit stop strategy here. Bryson has only stopped once here. Dominic has stopped twice. Dominic just looks like he has some insane pace going around this track here. Gibbons has only a 6/10 gap between them, is sitting in the slipstream, but I don't know how long that will last because it looks like Dominic just is on some really hot laps here. It looks like he's catching up to EJ Luna, who again is not in the battle here, but is still on the track and providing some valuable slipstream to Dominic.
He definitely is. Now with that one pit stop, he's got to be close to running out of gas, right?
It really depends. Some drivers could be really good at saving gas, whether that's not going full throttle on the straights or really just letting off the gas earlier, going to the corners. There are a lot of ways you can save gas around this track, but it is honestly surprising that some of these cars have only done one stop.
Yes, definitely surprising. You have gas to think about, you have tire wear to think about. You know, there's so much going on. I am really surprised that they've gone an hour and a half with only one pit stop. We did stop in with a team at the beginning of the stream. They said their strategy was 4 to 5 pit stops. Not being a racer of this track, mentioned I thought that was a lot of stops. Maybe it's not. We already have some of these drivers who are at 2 and 3 stops. We still have about an hour to go.
Absolutely. You guys might have noticed at the beginning of this lap, EJ Luna dropped back of the pack, didn't want anything to do with this battle. It was not his fight, so very smart move for him to get out of the way there and let these cars on a different lap get by. And it looks like Dominic now is chasing down Luca Roth, who again is a lap behind Dominic right now. So Dominic now has to try and battle against Amato there, Nick, who is currently 21 seconds ahead. So Dominic got to put his head down and get some good laps put together.
He definitely does. Now, we might see on there that Luca Roth will get a blue flag because he is a lap behind. That will give him the pass for Wilder to pass safely.
So we got Monaco here in the pits for Scuderia Monaco. Currently sitting in 6th, but looks like Dominic is going to get that spot from him there. And it looks like Bryson might also be able to make this pass while he is in the pits as well. Here goes Bryson on the track.
It seems like a long pit. I wonder if he's serving a time penalty.
Maybe. I know that iRacing does give you options to determine how much fuel you want to put in your car. And I personally do not have a lot of experience with fueling these hypercars, but there is a difference as to how light your car is based on how full your gas tank is. I don't know if that's something as intricate of a strategy that these guys are worried about, but it could be something that is going through their minds as they go into these pit stops.
Whoa, definitely makes sense. Don't know what happened there with Monaco kind of going off to the left.
Honestly, that just looked like a little bit of fatigue for me coming out of the pit lane.
It probably is. And there are a lot of cones on this track because it is originally an oval track. They do cone off some of those corners to make it the street track that we are racing today. Now, I do know, I'm not positive with the Ferrari, but I do know with the Cadillac, if you run over one of those cones, it can get stuck underneath your car. I hopped into somebody's practice yesterday and they made sure to watch out for that and to figure out how to deal with that because that will definitely slow you down.
Now, taking a look at the top left of your screen, we can now see the intervals between all of these cars. A lot of these cars are very spaced out now in between each other. We are now on board with EJ Luna, who seems to have a little bit of traffic in front of him. We've got Dominic there in front of him, and then I believe that might be Lewis in front of him. All of these cars are not on the same laps. They are not racing each other. Yet look at that. They are all just bumper to bumper to bumper trying to get through here as fast as they can.
They definitely are.
Because as you can see, EJ Luna is behind Dominic right now. EJ's in 3rd, Dominic is in 6th, so EJ is just trying to find his way around. He's got a lot of pace here, but he's just going to try and stay out of this guy's battle so he doesn't mess up his own race.
Definitely. But it is also hard to race behind slower cars. If they're slowing down Luna's pace, it is harder to maintain your tires, to adjust your braking zone because of the slower traffic ahead of you. So it might be in Luna's best interest to get around these cars as quickly as possible.
Most definitely. And I mean, speaking of pace, Dayton Harrison currently in 2nd. Last time we talked with him, he was around 20, 25 seconds behind. He's now 13 seconds behind the leader. I think
that gap.
he'll be able to catch him before the end of this race.
Definitely.
But look at this. We got some bump drafting
bumper to
going
bumper.
on here.
Using that slipstream to cut across and try to pass? Possibly.
Take a look at this Dominic here looking on the inside.
Looks like he's going to take it.
Going into turn one. This could get crazy. Oh, there's some contact there. It's the 11 car.
He recovered well.
We're all going to hope. Oh, there was a car. There's a car in the wall. That's the number 9. Oh, coming right back onto the track. That could be really dangerous. Cause a little bit of a squabble there. We're on board with Alex Lewis in this number 9. This was in front of the current pack that we were watching. Let's see what happens when he goes into turn 1 here. Looks like he just misjudged his braking zone a little bit into the tire barrier. And then let's see what happens when he comes back onto the track. Not noticing these cars here. He's going to come right in the middle of the track.
Right into traffic.
And that is going to separate a bunch of these cars. Luckily, no other incidents were caused, but it looks like the 11 car is going to try and get around him on the outside. Lock up the brakes a little bit on that pass. And it looks like this is going to allow EJ Luna to look on the inside here and get around these lap cars. That was exciting.
That was exciting.
All right, chat. I feel like it is time to have a little bit more chat interaction. So let us know if you guys are in the chat. It's time to answer some more true or false questions. We've got OK Motorsports and we've got Team Scuderia who still need to answer these true or false questions. So even though you might not be supporting them, you might be supporting someone else on the other team. Let's go ahead and get some true or false questions.
Definitely. You know, you can also jump in the chat. If you want to help a team and it's not the team that you're asking, you have all the power in your hands to give them the wrong answer.
A lot of points on the line here.
It's your conscience you have to deal with, but, you know, that's what makes this interesting. It's up to you. You can sway the drivers in any way you want. But we're going to try to jump in. Do you guys want to jump in with Scuderia Monaco or OK Motorsports?
Ooh, it looks like Bryson Gibbons is getting a little bit loose up for one of the Scuderia Monaco cars. And that was coming out of a turn that we hadn't seen anyone spin from yet. So I think that's a little bit of fatigue coming in. Should we go ahead and talk with the Monaco cars with that fatigue coming in?
Yeah, I think we should, definitely.
All right, let's do it. Let's hop in with Team Scuderia. Team Scuderia, this is the production booth. You guys got us?
Yeah.
We do.
How are you guys doing? How's the race going so far?
It's all right. I think we're making mistakes, but it's our first race of the season. Mistakes should be made, right?
Absolutely. If you're going to make any mistakes, might as well make them now and not again. Am I right?
Exactly.
Definitely. We're gonna have to put Bryce into some training after the amount of incident points he's racked up.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
Did we get a black flag or a drive-through penalty?
Yeah.
A couple of us have gotten
through
black flags.
Let's pull up that data real quick. Anthony, though, you're up there.
I know, I'm up there. I unfortunately was punted. I was in 4th going through turn 3 of the first turn, and I got punted by now one of the leaders. So that definitely racked up about 7 of my incident points. So the rest of them have been from my mistakes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of close battles from you guys with other teams, but we come here with an opportunity for you guys to score some bonus points by answering some true or false questions.
Great. I did not prepare for this.
Well, we do have the chat, so hopefully they can help you guys out getting the right answers so that you can get those bonus points. Is there anything you'd like to say to them or plead with them before we start?
Please help us out. We'll be calling to the crowd a lot. We appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I hope it's been fun.
All right, here we're going to go with the first question. John,
right.
Take it away.
First true or false question here. Mice prefer chocolate over cheese. True or false?
Ooh,
true, I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's true.
I mean, who doesn't
all right,
prefer
chat,
chocolate?
what do you think?
With false.
You guys got a spotter, so you guys should be able to get this one, right?
We don't have a spotter.
No.
Oh, you don't have a spotter?
Oh, we're blind. As
chat is saying
blind mice would be, right?
What are we thinking? Do mice prefer chocolate over cheese? Chat is saying false.
Chat says false.
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna
What do
go
you
with
think, John?
David's answer. I'm gonna do false.
False. What do you think?
I think it's false as well. I mean, whenever I think of mice, I think
think
of cheese, right?
You
But maybe
think.
they like chocolate. I have no idea.
I'm going true.
I don't know. I would agree that maybe true.
Ooh.
I think I would vote false. I think.
All right, racers. Final answer. True or false?
What do you think?
False.
False.
All right. They say
All right,
false.
the team says
Chat
false.
says false.
The answer is true.
It's true.
Man.
Oh.
Who would have thought?
I mean, who doesn't love chocolate?
I mean, who did this study? I really got to see the results here. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
have to get some scientific evidence here. Got to back
Yeah.
up the facts.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right,
second.
we didn't make the questions. We didn't pick the answers.
Okay. All
You have
right.
to blame the makers of the game.
Maybe science
wasn't us.
the answers.
Second true or false question. The average millennial checks their phone 150 times a day.
Holy
my
shit!
goodness.
That is a scary
True.
thought.
True.
True.
True. Are you a millennial?
Yeah.
No. But true.
I am.
Somebody
Do you
just
check it 150 times a day?
I mean, I check my phone a lot. I'm not gonna lie that I am probably part of that statistic for sure.
All right. Chat,
What's-
what do you think?
What's the chat say?
Chat says bet more, honestly.
I
Okay.
was gonna
True.
say that.
True? We think true?
Yeah.
I'm going to go true. What
I'm
do you
gonna go
think?
true as well.
True? I think we're all thinking true.
I mean, historically, these have been true. So
True.
All right. Ready for the answer?
All
Well,
right.
it's gonna be
The answer.
false.
The answer is true.
True.
Let's
Good
go.
job.
Good job, guys.
David,
Bunch of
you're
millennials
behind
here.
me. You need a tow.
Sure.
All right.
All right. We got one more true or
On
false
your-
question for you guys.
Oh, look at him slowing down for his teammate there.
That is some good strategy. Giving a toe to his teammate.
Yeah, we've seen you guys bumper to bumper to bumper basically all race. So has there been a lot of team strategy when it comes to slipstream and tow?
Yeah, we practiced that a little bit before this race. We're trying to go for a long strategy, but honestly, our mistakes have probably bit us in the ass. So yeah, we're trying to hit only 3 pits here, with 30 laps a stint. So we're all on our 3rd stint here, and hopefully we'll be able to make it to that 90th lap.
There you go. Yeah, you guys have done 68 laps so far. You guys feeling fatigued?
Honestly, I'm getting in the groove. I'm feeling pretty good. My brake lines are pretty easy to see, and I'm doing pretty good.
There you go. Happy
All
to
right,
hear it.
that's good. Ready for your last true or false question to earn some bonus points.
Great.
All right. True or false? Napoleon, Mussolini, and Hitler were all allegedly afraid of cats.
Oh,
True
whoa.
or false?
Afraid of cats?
True.
Ridiculous.
True.
I would think true. No, yeah. Why not?
True.
Why not?
They
True.
were afraid of cats.
Chat, what do you think? Were they afraid of cats? True or false?
I
say
want to
true.
say true.
I want to.
I say true. I want to
You
say
do?
true.
I don't think it's true.
I don't think it's true either. I want it to be true, but my vote's going to be false.
I mean, fuck those guys and their phobias. Like, fuck them.
And chat is saying false.
Chat says false.
What do you guys think?
Mussolini was
True.
at least.
I know they were all alive at the same time, but
It was disease. They were scared of cats because of disease.
all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's
True.
do it. True.
All right, everyone's
All right,
saying
they're
true.
thinking
The
true.
answer,
I think it's false.
the answer is true.
Oh man. Good job.
Good job. Some bonus points for you at the end of the race. Now, we're 69 laps completed. Nice job, you guys. And we're going to be looking out for you guys here as this race ends.
You've got a fair amount of time left. Any extra strategies? Any secrets you want to let out?
Well, we're just trying to race to the end. No more pits.
Have one
see
more.
what we. Oh, David's got one more. Okay, well, yeah, just
But
race to the end.
It's gonna be a short one.
Look at you. Yeah, race to the end. Make sure we don't make any other major mistakes, and see where we land. I feel like we're doing all right, but next time we'll do much better. We got the pace. We just kind of made a lot of mistakes. Got caught up in traffic, and yeah.
Well, it's good learning. And is this the first time that the three of you are racing together?
Yes. Well, at least in a full session, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is the first race of, I don't know how many there are.
11.
Oh my goodness, I didn't do my
11.
homework. 11. So, first time, all the better for the next time. It's a good first practice, and then at the next race, we'll definitely be watching you.
Next
You guys
one's
got anything
Sebring,
for
right?
chat here?
Thank you.
Yeah, what do you have to say to your fans in chat?
Do we have fans? Thank you.
Thank you, fans.
You guys have
We
to have
appreciate you
fans.
watching. Thank you so much to whomever
Who
is
is-
watching.
There was a Texas dad on there earlier.
Oh, that's for sure, my dad.
Do you want to give him a shout out? He's listening.
Well, you know, I'm just proud of him for being 100 and being able to use the computer.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the support.
And good luck as this race comes to a close.
Thank you.
There you go.
All
There you have it.
right.
We got
Those are
one.
some pretty good trivia.
That is some pretty good trivia. So, for those of you guys who don't know, we're getting our trivia from a card game called Is That True? Really? And we're reading off these cards to see if these guys can answer these trivias. And honestly, I'm getting stumped by all of this trivia.
Yeah, I mean, chat said earlier it is like a 50-50, so, you know, you never know. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to disagree with my partner John over here. Sometimes I'm like, I don't really think that's right. So,
I would
you
not
know,
have guessed they were afraid of cats.
I wouldn't either.
personally.
And I'm totally a cat person.
Same.
So
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody should be afraid of cats because they're tiny and cute.
Absolutely.
But I'm biased, so.
All right, we are hitting around lap 70, and we have almost half an hour left in this race. So we are coming down to the final stints. We are on board with our leader. We got Brian Sabelski there for OK Motorsports, absolutely running away with it.
He is definitely dominating this race. He started on pole position, is still in pole position, has had 3 pit stops. So, you know, he's just running his race. He's doing really well.
Absolutely. Traffic is going to play a big deal here as this race comes to a close, especially for our leader, because we know Harrison is on the same lap as Zabelski. He is one of the only drivers on this track that I believe has a chance to catch him to win this race, and I believe he's got some pace to do it. Right now, he's currently 32 seconds behind Zabelski, so all Zabelski has to do is keep it clean, keep it out of the walls, and keep it out of the back of other cars.
When we did have those incident points up, I believe Zabelski is 2 incident points away from having a 12 incident points drive-through penalty. So, like we said, you know, there is still half an hour of this race left. Anything can happen. Incidents happen, off tracks happen when you're running through traffic. It happens. So, you know, just because he's in first now doesn't mean he's going to finish that way.
We've got some chatters, got some fans of Dayton hoping to see if he can bring it home. And you're right, if only 3 more incident points is all Sabelski needs, and he'll have to do a drive-through penalty, and that 30-second gap that he has to second place is gone.
Yep, it cuts it right out, which definitely gives Harrison more of an advantage, gets him closer to getting that first place spot.
Definitely. Oh, it looks like we got some cars off the
another
track
off
here
track.
in turn 1. Again, I think that might just be the fatigue kicking in. Braking lines are harder to see for these cars, and there's a lot of lap traffic here for these leaders to navigate around. On board with Alex Lewis here, OK Motorsports. So a teammate of the leader looks to just went a little too hot there for turn 1. I mean, that turn 1
And I
is
think
just
that
so
turn
hard.
is really hard for him. This is not the first time that we've seen him have an issue on that turn.
Yeah, there you go. You got the two OK Motorsports cars, bumper to bumper. One of them in the lead, the other recovering from a little bit of a wreck there. Because we got two drivers for the OK Motorsports team. We've got the leader in first, and then we've got our 10th place driver. So both of these drivers separated by basically the entire field, but still a lot of opportunity to score points. So what do you say we give them another opportunity to score some points?
I agree. Let's jump in with OK.
Okay, Motorsports, this is the production booth. You guys hear us?
Yep. Gotcha.
How is the racing going, Zabelski? You've been looking really fast.
It's been going pretty good. Just keeping it nice and steady, trying to avoid those incidents and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we've been noticing your incident points. You're currently at 9. How hard has it been to keep your car within the racing line so you don't have to serve that penalty?
Not too difficult. I just have to remember to take it easy on the bus stop, and that's about it.
Is that where your issues are happening? Are you getting off track?
Yeah, just mostly off tracks there.
All right, well, we have an opportunity here for you guys to score some extra points with some true or false questions.
Sounds good.
We're going to ask some questions. We're going to ask chat for some help. And then based on how many, we're going to ask you 3 questions. Based on how many you get right, we'll get you some bonus points.
Sounds neat.
All right, first question, true or false? Americans use about 10 gallons of water daily.
Ooh,
True or false?
Gosh, I should know that one.
that's a lot of water.
I am gonna say.
You had to spin from Lewis.
I think it's a little more than that.
So you're going to go with false?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more than 10.
All right, chat, what do you think?
So let's hear chat. I think I would also agree. I think false. I think we use more than 10 gallons of water. Because I'm thinking like for a shower.
Yeah, that's what
restroom.
Yeah.
Toilet.
Cooking. Yeah,
Let us know, chat.
I don't know. I'm going to say
I mean, the toilet
chat
flush.
says definitely more.
Toilet flush is like 3 gallons right there, so.
Chat is also saying false.
False.
I'm going to lock in that answer.
And you said false. I'm going to go true, just because I want to disagree with you.
I'll be the tiebreaker then. I will go false.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Tiebreaker, false.
All right, chat says false. Drivers say false. The answer is false.
Oh,
they
man.
use 101 gallons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot
I
of
knew
water.
10 was way too small.
Yes, that is.
That's a lot of water.
All right, second true or false question. In Tokyo, you can buy ice cream with beef tongue, horse meat, and squid ink flavors.
True.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
had
Have you
any
tried
of these
it?
flavors before?
No, but I know they exist, so.
There you go.
All
Confidence
right.
chat. What do you think? True or
Chat,
false?
do we think it's true? That's pretty outrageous. What do you think? Do you think it's true?
I think it's probably true.
Yeah. I think I'll go with true on that one as well.
What would-
Oh,
what
chat thinks false.
What would squid ink even taste like?
Tastes like pasta.
I was gonna say.
Like what?
Like pasta.
Pasta?
Yeah, squid ink pasta.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a completely normal flavor.
yeah. That's
But we're talking about ice cream, right?
Right.
Yes.
You can make ice cream
You can
taste
have
like
savory
anything.
ice cream.
Maybe I'm just not cultured enough.
All right, the drivers are saying true. Chat is saying false. I'm going to say true.
I'm going to say true.
Who do you guys know Harishu Racing has? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think that's probably Vincent.
Do you trust what they're saying? Because they're
That's the
saying
one
false.
who's telling you false.
Okay, well, he goes to Japan all the time, so that is.
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
Insider knowledge.
If Vincent says no, it's no.
Is that what you guys
Oh,
want to
you
use
changed your
as your
answer?
team
You gonna
answer?
change?
No. I'm stubborn.
All right.
drivers
Final
are sticking
answer.
with
Drivers
true.
say true. Answer is
True.
true. Good job.
Good job,
Yeah.
guys.
Some more bonus points. All right, we got one more true or false question. Back in the day, cow and horse urine was used to make gunpowder. True or false?
Ooh.
That's certainly true.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Nitric acid.
I feel.
Yeah, they used a lot of weird things back in the day. Like, don't look up alchemy, kids, but also don't look up alchemy.
There you go. Drivers are saying true. I think that is such an outrageous question to have. I will also say true.
I'm gonna say false. Chat,
False.
what do you think? True
Let us
or
know,
false?
chat. We need a broadcaster tiebreaker. What do you think?
Tiebreaker.
Oh, race control. I go with the consensus. What, I mean, you guys disagree with each other?
Yes.
I said true.
I said false.
And where's the team at?
Drivers, what do you say?
Drivers are saying true.
And chat hasn't chimed in yet.
Chat doesn't say. Come on, chat. What do you think?
Chat's
True or
going to need to be the
false?
tiebreaker here.
They say true.
Chat is saying true.
All right, two trues. Take it.
Locking it in. The answer is true.
True.
Urine was a source of potassium nitrate that they needed to manufacture gunpowder.
Yep.
There you go. Well, congrats. That's all of the questions answered
Did I get
correctly.
them all right?
Thank you.
Goodness
Bonus
gracious.
points for you guys. All right, we've got 25 minutes left in this race. Brian, do you think you can hold it?
I think so. As long as I don't screw it up.
All right, well, we're going to keep an eye on you in that bus stop, see if you're going off track. No pressure, but all of chat is watching.
That's okay.
A BMW does look pretty good out there. How's it handling for you?
Handling pretty good. Nice and stable. Maybe not as fast as some of the other cars like the Caddy and whatnot, but the stability is what I was looking for. I figured as long as I was able to kind of drive it the way I wanted to, I could squeeze out the time in the slower corners.
How are you guys feeling when it comes to fatigue? You've been racing for 2 hours straight now.
Not a little tired, but that's just in general because it's late. Usually for some leagues, I'm in the car for 2-3 hours at a time. But those are usually when those nights happen. That's usually the only race I do because I try and manage myself in that regard.
This is longer than my longest race by about 6 times. So I'm feeling it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Where are you feeling it? We've heard drivers say their legs are getting fatigued, their mind's getting fatigued, their arms. What are you feeling?
Kind of getting kind of cloudy, but I feel like I'm honestly driving better.
Yeah,
because
sometimes,
I'm not thinking as much. It's just kind of going in autopilot.
Yeah, sometimes when you get that kind of that flow state, it really is a little bit quicker.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming up with the trivia questions to break that up.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on answering them all correctly.
We're glad we're not distracting you. Although I don't know if the chat agrees, some people said that they wanted to distract you guys because they're cheering for another team and you guys are winning.
That's all right.
So,
that's all right.
It happens. It happens.
Good.
But glad we didn't distract you.
As long as the audience is having a good time.
I need to find a way to fly like a drone into my house and with an air horn on it.
Anything you want to say to chat before we head out?
Just thanks for being here. I'm glad that y'all are here, and I hope you're all enjoying the race, no matter who you're cheering for.
It's been a fantastic race. I know from the commentary booth, we've been seeing a lot of interesting battles, a lot of clean fights, and it's been a great race to watch all you guys just put in some really fantastic laps. So good luck as this race comes to an end, and Brian, we'll be watching out for you.
Hope to see you back here in just a little bit.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. And just like that, Trivia's over. I felt like that went pretty well.
I think it did. Chat, what did you think? Are you guys on autopilot too?
Yeah, I mean, this race has been going on now for 2 hours. So I could understand if chat is like, okay, let's see who wins this race now. Let's wrap it up, guys.
Yep.
RB Murado, thank you. Appreciate that comment.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Oh.
Cheer Ange, thank you as well.
It looks like there's a lot of time and a lot of space in between all of these cars on the track, except Dominic Wilder and Bryson Gibbons. Only 4 seconds separate them.
Yes, they are
the closest
very
gap
close.
on the track. Absolutely, yeah. We'll definitely hop in with the leader here once the race ends, talk to their team, see how they did, and then check in with all the other teams, see how fatigued they are, if we can catch them before they get off the stream and go to bed, because it sounded like a lot of those racers are pretty tired.
They are tired. I mean, just think about it. This is not everybody's full-time job. I know I had to work today. You know, go to work all day, take a little break, get a snack for dinner, hop in your car and do your racing for 2 hours. It's a long day. We do have, thanks for the shout out to us commentators being here. We appreciate you being here and interacting with us. So thank you for the shout outs to us. Thank you for watching in Indiana. I'm sure it is getting late out there.
Yeah, shout out all of our friends in Indiana who are up late watching this race.
Yes, thank you for cheering on your team, your teammates. Thanks to all the family, all the friends who are logging on, interacting with us. We appreciate you. We hope you're having a good time. Let us know if you have more questions. If there's somebody you want us to be on board with, we can definitely switch. Also want to give a shout out. We have talked about consistency. Benjamin Bechtel is still holding that fastest lap.
Yeah, no one has even come close.
Nobody is close to that lap. So, he might not be in first place. He has worked his way up, up that leaderboard. He did have that time stop early. So, he got lower place. He's working his way back up. He maintains that fastest lap. He's doing really well. So all of our drivers with the various different experience levels, they're putting in the work tonight, and it's going to be a great season.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got 20 minutes left in this race, and Bechtel is only 12 seconds behind EJ Luna in third. So theoretically, he could catch up to him if he cuts a second or two faster a lap than EJ, which we've seen EJ put down some really consistent lap times. So we'll have to see. EJ just put down a 1:33.7. And then in about 12 seconds or so, we'll see what Benjamin puts down, see if it's any faster than that. But a 1:33 is pretty good pace for this
pretty good
late
pace
in the
for this
race.
Late in the race, that is true. You have, again, things to worry about. Tire wear. Their cars are getting lighter, so they're handling a little bit differently.
Bechtel with a 1:34, so a second slower that lap, but it looks like he is gaining on that time there. So it looks like maybe EJ Luna's missing a braking zone, but honestly, that's all it could take for Bechtel to catch up and reclaim that podium position after I want to say disastrous first couple laps.
Yes, it was rough. And like we said, that beginning of the race, that turn one right off of the line, we knew that was going to be exciting. It definitely was. We had another spin-off right here with Luca Roth. I'm sure this is a huge learning experience for him. He is very new to sim racing. He is doing his best. We give him all our support because we know experienced drivers even are experiencing that fatigue. He's new to it. This has got to be hard, but such a great experience for him. And we're all here to watch it, which is pretty special too.
Absolutely.
Looks like we have a lot of Benjamin fans in the chat.
Yeah, we got a lot of Benjamin fans in the chat.
Well,
I mean, he's got to feel
Benjamin.
that. We just talked about him. He was 12 seconds behind. Now he's 9 seconds behind. He is
he is pushing.
Moving.
Definitely. He is. From watching him in the Le Mans race, from watching him during the hot lap during the Formula One season, he is so competitive. He is the team principal for his team, so I'm sure he is pushing himself as hard as he can. With your support, I'm sure he really appreciates that. We really appreciate you guys supporting our drivers. And just showing all the love. So we'll make sure that he sees your comments, that he knows that you're supporting him. But that's really great to see. So thank you for showing up for him.
His gap is now down to 8 seconds. I don't know if you guys are just watching this number slowly go down like I am, but I mean, like, he is not losing any time to Luna right now.
And he knows that their time is running out. So he is definitely, you know, he's pushing himself.
We'll see what he's able to make happen here. As we come down to the final segment of this race, almost 15 minutes remaining. Looks like Bryson Gibbons, now in 7th place, is getting some time up, catching up to Dominic there in 6th. Could be a close battle that could come down to the wire.
Ooh.
Look at
There's
that.
some good traffic right here.
Some lap traffic got in the way. Like I said, that's all it could take. A slow car in front could allow your competitor behind you to just catch up with a few seconds. And now Dominic's got to keep his eyes open in his rearview mirror to see what Gibbons does, because we know these two guys have gotten together. Look at that. Gibbons late on the brakes.
He's pushing
really hard here. Looking at
Wilder, his elbows out, trying to keep him behind.
I would not be surprised if Gibbons really throws it into the turn 1 corner here. This is for 6th place, but even though it is for 6th place, all of these positions are payout positions.
They
so
are
this
paid,
could be just a little bit more. Oh, and it looks like Dominic's going to be going into the pits. He's not even going to fight him. Dominic goes into the pit lane, lets Bryson by, and that is another spot for the Scuderia Monaco team.
You know, we did see a couple off tracks happen with Dominic. I wonder if he's serving a time penalty or if this is part of his strategy. I wouldn't expect it to be part of the strategy because it is so late in the race, but he was driving pretty defensively. He did go off track, so if he did have to serve a drive-through penalty or a time stop penalty, that could be the reason he was going into the pits.
Bechtel now 6 seconds behind. He's catching up to EJ Luna a lot faster than I expected. He will probably catch him before the end of this race. I mean, we've got 15 minutes left, and he is almost getting on him a second a lap here.
He definitely is. I would also just like to give a shout out to all these liveries on these cars.
Yes, these cars
are
look
beautiful
incredible.
Cars to watch race.
I don't think the average viewer would understand just like how it even works to create a livery and apply it to your car, but just like the designs that were created by all of these racers are just so intricate, and you can tell that there was a lot of time put into these designs for these cars just to represent Denver Racing Social and the Broadcast Challenge Series. So it's cool to see all of these racers get so into this.
Definitely. Now, real quick, if you know somebody who wants to sponsor these drivers, you can get your logo, your information on their liveries. We do have sponsorships available, so let us know if you have any interest in that, and we can give you more information on that. But yeah, thank you again for coming out and supporting. We've got Dayton fans in the chat also. I think we're gonna switch over to watch Dayton. He is really close to 1st place. I think his supporters really want him to get there, and it looks like he's pushing himself to get there.
Dayton Harrison has put together just like an absolutely incredible race, up 4 positions from the start. Best lap is a 1:32.4, and just overall has been running a really clean race. We haven't really heard him get into any drama or contact with any other racers. He's been running his own race, and he's been putting on a really, really solid showing as to how to just run one of these endurance races.
He definitely is. I think for all of Full Throttle Racing, I think one of their big strategies is consistency, and you can tell not just with Harrison and with Bechtel. I know Wilder is newer. I think he is a rookie class in iRacing, but having that consistency, Wilder is also pretty consistent with his racing. So I think that's part of their big strategy, and it'll be interesting to see how they do for the whole season. This is like we said, 11 more races. So all the teams I feel are starting off pretty strong.
I agree. We got some interaction in the chat. Nick's mom says, keep it up, Nick. He's got to go. But then we got Cheerrank13 asking to check on Bechtel. How many seconds is Bechtel behind? We'll try and get that delta here for you because Bechtel is catching up. Look at that.
Yep, 4 seconds
behind EJ Luna now. And we've only got 10 minutes left. I think it's going to come down the wire.
It's going to be really close.
But both of these drivers have been really, really good drivers. So I expect them to race each other pretty clean here as the race continues.
Yes, they do. And we know we saw Luna driving in Le Mans during our previous broadcast. And he is also very consistent. He does well under pressure. He had pressure during that race too. So we'll see if he can maintain, if he is even aware that Bechtel is coming up behind him. He's coming up very quickly.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely see one more battle at least before this race ends here, with Bechtel running super, super well on this track here. You can see he now sees EJ Luna in his sights out the cockpit of this Cadillac. And I know that he just his blood's pumping and he's realizing that
excited.
If he wants
he's
to pass
right there.
him, his opportunity is going to be now.
Yeah.
4 seconds behind third place.
I love in the chat, everyone's cheering for him to take over.
He's got a lot of fans in this chat, and he's putting on a show for him, that's for sure.
He definitely is. We appreciate the love. Yes.
Yes, Dayton has been running in an absolutely insane race. I mean, I have spectated Dayton now for 2 races, with the Le Mans race earlier in this race, and both times he has just shown that if he has any kind of mistake or any kind of issue with his car, he always comes back for it and just shows incredible pace, no matter what position he's in. And I think that is just what you need to have, very good trait to have as a race car driver.
Yes, and it shows. You have to be very adaptable when you're driving. These are all GTP cars. However, you don't know how everybody else is driving. Everyone practices differently. Everyone has a different racing line. So he is so adaptable. He's maintaining that. You know, Dayton's just doing such a good job and really pulling it up for his team.
It really is. I think it's really cool that we have 3 different teams in the top 3.
That is pretty awesome.
That is really cool to see how competitive all of these teams are. And it will be very interesting to see where the teams end up after this race points-wise for this broadcast challenge series, because this is only race 1 of multiple races in this series.
It definitely is. And we are so excited to be here for it and to have you here. We want you to be here for the next race. So we'll let you know when that's happening. We are watching Harrison right now in 2nd place.
The screen is on Harrison. I'm watching that timer go down for Bechtel in P4.
Yeah, he's down to 3 seconds.
2 seconds behind now. He is just
closing.
He is moving. And I mean, you've got the race timer there up on the very top left of the screen. We've got, I want to say that's 8 minutes left in this race, 87 laps done. Bechtel is running.
Pushing it. I think he feels that time pressure. There's not much time left in this race.
Oh, I'm sure he's
good 7 minutes.
He's looking at his split timer for all of his sectors, and
I'm sure he is. He is
short
pushing.
That gap is going down. I mean, he was 20 seconds behind at a certain point. He was in the battle for the lead at the beginning of the race and then had to go into the pits. Imagine where he would be in this race
if he didn't have that time penalty. I know. It would be different, definitely.
The fastest guy on the track, and it's not even close. So it's going to be very exciting to see him, especially in these future races.
Yes.
All right.
As we're waiting for the results.
I'm just looking at Bechtel's.
Yeah, he's down to 2 seconds. He's cutting that so low.
It's
you can
gonna come
see
down to the
right behind
wire.
Luna. You can see we're watching it. Bechtel is closing that gap so quickly.
You got to think maybe Luna is worried about his tires fading. Maybe he just doesn't have the speed in the car that Bechtel does. Maybe this comes down to strategy because I know Luna's a really good race car driver.
He
and
is.
It's going to come down to the wire. He's going to have to defend all of these moves. But you're right, Soap in the chat, he's definitely feeling the heat. Ben is jamming.
He is. Ben jamming. I love it. Look at that. He's taking that racing line. He is closing that gap.
That was a
less
wide
than a
line
second.
for Luna here. We got 5 minutes left in this race. That means there's only 3 or 4 laps left in this race. Probably only 3 laps. And Bechtel is there.
He is there. He is there. We have watched this journey for him. Let's see if he can make that clean pass. We have no incident points.
He now has the slipstream here going onto the straightaway. So if he times this acceleration right on Luna, he will be able to pass him here on the straightaway before the bus stop. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's in the wall.
He went too wide.
Let's see what happened there.
He's
He
recovering.
lost a little bit of time.
He lost a little time. He's still within that 1 second gap.
What happened there? Maybe a little bit of mental fatigue, I can only assume, but now he's going to slow it down into the bus stop. And I think that is enough to put pressure on Luna.
I think it definitely is. You know, we talk about the pressure of a racer coming up behind of the leader. There is pressure also of the driver who's trying to catch up and trying to overtake.
Absolutely, because he knows this is the only time he has. And if he doesn't make his move in the next 5 minutes, then
he's ending where he's at.
Yes, he is. But
we do have some cheers for Luna not to give up. Don't give in to the pressure.
Deep into turn 1, both of them are going to hit the apex perfectly. Both of these drivers know not to mess with turn 1 at all. Bechtel's there. He's waiting patiently. He's going to be looking for a gap here.
He's going to wait for that moment.
Going to try and hopefully catch that slipstream on the straightaways and the banked turns here.
Now we have chat telling Benjamin to wait for the sweet spot, which I think is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to keep trying to drive his race, not get any of those incident points, and make a clean pass.
Now it really comes down to just the braking zones and the acceleration. Here we go. Bechtel has the run on Luna here on the inside of the corner. He's got the slipstream. Luna not doing anything to prevent that slipstream here, and Bechtel might have a chance to dive bomb into this bus stop, but I wouldn't be surprised if he waits till turn 1.
He's gonna wait. We've seen also from Sabelski, this is not a good place to overtake. It's hard even when you're not overtaking to stay on track. We don't want to have those incident points.
0.2 of a second behind as we go around to the start-finish line. 3 minutes left in this race. 90 laps completed, and Bechtel's there. He's going to have the run.
Let's hear it, chat. Let's cheer him on.
Luna is holding the inside here, trying to block that pass.
He's going to pass!
Going to the outside.
Oh, he doesn't make it into turn 1.
He's going to try and go for the switchback here around turn 1. Stay onto the bumper here. And he is there. Luna is feeling the pressure, looking to the outside.
He is being
Luna
defensive.
Blocks.
Come on.
There's a little bit of a gap there. He's not going to quite go for it. 0.2 separate these cars. They are racing hard. No pressure from behind. The motto is more than a minute behind these two drivers. Looking on the inside, Bechtel, he's still there. Man, these cars are just racing each other hard.
Oh,
deep right before.
Oh,
a little bit of pressure, and it comes down to the straightaway
guys. Here we go.
And it looks like
Bechtel's
Bechtel got the run.
Inside. Oh,
he got the run. He's got the slipstream. He's going to be at the bumper for the bus stop.
Yep, he's not going to overtake there. It's not safe, but maybe before.
Looks to the inside of the bus stop. The cars are side by side. Luna's going to give him the spot. All of that hard work pays off.
Now he's got to hold on and increase that gap.
Incredible.
Luna's not letting him just have it. He's pushing.
He's going to
try to overtake again, going on the outside.
They are side by side. We're going to go into turn one here.
Oh, all about the braking at that point.
Oh, look at that. A late
let
break
him
from
have
Luna.
it
Is he going
in.
to make the turn? He's going to leave him the space, but he's going to get the corner back.
He got it back.
Beautiful outside turn. And look at that clock, guys. We got 30 seconds left in this race. This might be one of the last laps. Benjamin now battling on the inside.
Looks like Luna's
he's going to
taking
come
a
back
wide.
on it. Side by side through the infield here. Bechtel's going to have the inside. Luna's going to give it to him. They're going to give each other space. These cars are side by side. Luna now on the inside going to this corner. Bechtel with the outside. He's going to cut him off.
Got it.
There you go. Bechtel has the space, but Luna is not done with him yet. He's going to have that slipstream going into turn one, but it looks like he is losing a little bit of that gap. Now 3/10 separate the two cars, and we have hit the race timer, 92 laps, and the race timer is over. It is going to come down to these cars to the line. We got Bechtel and we got Luna through the bus stop. One more time, Luna with the bad line. That's going to give the run to Bechtel.
That gives Bechtel the gap he needs.
Look at that.
What a race.
Wow, Luna now backing off 1.4 seconds behind. Bechtel with an insane battle.
All the way to the end.
But take a look at that. That's Brian Zabelski here. Our current leader has been leading this race the whole race, 30-second gap to the leaders. Didn't have any more incident points, didn't have to serve that penalty, and because of that, he is going to take home the victory today. Wow, what an end to the race.
What an end to the race. Now, instead of having those 3 different teams on our podium, we do have 2 members of Full Throttle Racing in second and third, and then we have Zabelski with OK Motorsports taking that win.
Mile High Motorsports, even though they will not be on the podium today, they will still take home a 4th place and a 5th place, which will be still good and solid points as this series goes on. As the checkered flag is out, Zabelski takes the win there for the first race of the DRS Broadcast Challenge Series, with an incredible run. That number 5 car from OK Motorsports was dominant all day. As we just go down the field here, we got Dayton Harrison up 4 spots. We've been just talking about Dayton, how well he raced today. And I'm sure he's happy to bring this car home.
Look, and he's flashing his lights. He's happy. Congratulations to Dayton. Yes. Moving up 4 places from qualifying, and coming in 2nd place. That's amazing.
The greatest run we've seen. We've got Benjamin Bechtel taking that 3rd place away at the end of the race. Gonna take home the checkered flag. Bechtel's gonna take home the last podium position. I'm sure he's really happy with that.
He has to be. That is awesome. Thank you in chat. Your support for Full Throttle. I mean, that's all of our chat says right now. Good job, Benjamin. Good job, Dayton. Full Throttle. Don't forget that there is a 3rd member on that team who has worked really hard to keep his place. He's been fighting other drivers. That's right here, Wilder. He is here in the clubhouse with us on the Full Motion Sim.
And now that this race is over, as you can see, we have Luna, who has finished, Amato has finished, Wilder is finished, and now that all of these cars are finished, we now know results, and we want to get all of the team principals for all of these teams into a chat room to hear what they have to say about this race. So there you go, there are the qualifying results, and now we have the race results. Take a look at that. All of the cars have finished this race, and man,
what a race. Now, chat, this is your chance to let us know. We are going live with our principals, with the teams. If you have anything you'd like to say to them, now's your chance. Let us know. We'll relay the message.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll get these broadcasters into our production, and we'll grab all of these team principals.
Bechtel, Zabelski, Luna, Gibbons.
All right, team principals, how are you guys doing now that the race is over?
You definitely did. The chat was thriving on cheering you on, especially that last lap, getting that last pass.
But overall, phenomenal racing out there, guys. You guys showed some really good pace, some really good racing. Now, you guys have been talking with your team this whole race. Now that it's over, how do you feel the race went for your team? And how are you going to take this experience for this race and move on as this Broadcast Challenge series progresses?
Mistakes we made individually, and then we originally talked about maybe trying to offset some strategies, and that never really got to take place to try to change something up. You know, that far back in an endurance race, sometimes you just gotta change it up and see what happens. But I definitely think we'll take a lot from this race going forward and implement it into the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Bryson.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they can't hear. We can't hear principals.
Oh.
No, they couldn't, but now they can.
Yeah,
that was my mistake there, guys.
No.
So we didn't hear Benjamin there.
Oh.
All right. Well,
All
to
the nice
redo
things
my
he said about his
spiel,
team.
yeah, I'm really happy with how he showed up. My team put in a lot of work, a lot of laps and time and effort to get consistent and faster. And it showed tonight where Dayton got second, and Dominic got sixth, and we put in laps that are probably faster than we've done in a while, consistently, which is awesome. And our strategy worked out great.
Awesome.
Now, real quick, the chat does have some words of encouragement for you. Good job, Full Throttle. Nice takeover, Benjamin. That was so cool to watch. Y'all are consistent. Keep it up. Let's see. You all did amazing. And then we got a lot of fire emojis. So good job.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, well, we heard from the Full Throttle Racing team. Let's hear from the other teams now that chat can hear. How did that go for your team?
Were they unable to hear me?
Yes.
Bryson, yeah, I just want to recap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just really quick. Basically, we had some strategies that ended up not working out. A lot of it, I think we all could chalk up to our own personal mishaps one way or the other. You know, getting caught up in traffic and stuff, things can change on the fly. Not having a spotter, so having to think on the fly while also making fuel calculations. We tried really hard to do some fuel saving, but then just with the way the race panned out, we just didn't end up really getting to capitalize on the gains we were hoping to have. Maybe jump some time, some of these quicker guys in the pits, but we'll take what we learned today, and we will move forward.
Yep. For us, you know, we got two people who are relatively new to the car, and it's a little bit of growing pains here and there, but that's to be expected. So, yeah, you know, I think they did really well. They both finished the race, and that is the most important thing. Is making sure that you can get to the end, and you know, we'll definitely build from here. I'm proud of them both for getting there, even if it was not what they were hoping, but you know, hey, you know, they did okay. We've always got room to keep growing and keep building. And, yep, that's about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also happy for our team. We were pretty consistent. We just had a little bit of woes throughout the race. But for the most part, had a lot of fun. Looking forward to racing against you guys the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'll just add, it was super fun. This is my first endurance event, so it's really cool. Had some trouble in the pits, but it wasn't unlucky. I guess you build your own luck. So gonna figure out how to do my tire changes and everything next time, and I'm looking forward to getting back up there.
Well, you guys put on one hell of a show, and I can definitely say from the production booth that we had a great time watching you guys race, and we're very excited to see how these teams progress and how you guys progress as racers as this broadcast challenge series continues. So good job to all you guys today.
And from Race Control, I want to thank everyone, all the racers, all the principals, our great commentary staff as well. Just thank you guys for participating in this. It's really exciting to be able to put on a production like this and have everyone really giving it their all. You know, it's going to be a few late nights, but 11 races. I can't wait to see how everyone progresses throughout this season. But it was an amazing start.
It definitely was. And thank you, Andrew, for hosting, putting this all together. We definitely would not be here without you, without the clubhouse. I had a great night. Hope everybody in the chat had a great night watching us race. Come see us for the next one. Check out denverracingsocial.com. It's also where you can find, I know someone in chat had asked where you could find the sponsorship information. denverracingsocial.com. You can follow us on Instagram. Definitely follow us on Twitch. I think we have a TikTok, but that's kind of...
Yeah. We got them all.
Follow us. Follow your drivers. They're putting information out there. Let your friends know they should come watch the next one. Help us with trivia. It's just a great time.
Yeah, just everyone go down to that the link at the bottom of the screen right now, that DRS VCS. That will show you all the sponsorship packages. You could actually buy a team. So if you want to be a team owner, you get branding rights. We'll put your brand on the livery. It's your own race team. So that is something, and it's first come, first serve. So if you want to buy the best team, whoever you think that might be, that's how we're doing that. So, yeah. But and then also we are looking for more drivers as well. So if you want to participate in this and have your own team, you can do that as well. So, yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all we got here at the production booth. Any last words from the drivers?
Thank you guys.
Thanks for broadcasting. Yeah.
And good race, everybody.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you at the next race.
Eat your Wheaties, guys.
I'll get you next time, Brian.